less and tends to work much faster. Ready for real, lasting results? Visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com now to schedule your free consultation.
Hey folks, Dennis Cox here from 99.9 The Fan. Thanks to Raleigh Weight Loss Center, I'm down over 25 pounds in 4 weeks from Raleigh Weight Loss Center. Raleigh Weight Loss Center is having a huge end-of-summer sale offering up to 20% off now through August 29th with the lowest prices of the year on the amazing Raleigh Weight Loss program. Schedule your consultation today by calling 919-897-7506. That's 919-897-7506 or online at RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Results may vary.
We don't want you on our team.
You're not the right fit for this job.
You're too slow and fast.
Don't you care how you look?
Weight bias hurts. Go to stopweightbias.com. A public service message from Obesity Action Coalition.
Some things can steal your sunshine.
Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at ritchielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Another good-looking afternoon for us. Slightly warmer than yesterday with a high of 82, but partly cloudy with low humidity continuing. 61 tonight, and then tomorrow partly cloudy skies. It feels nice, but slightly warmer with a high of 85.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 49 points to 45,614.
Bryce in the pocket, steps up, eludes the rush, throws, end zone, caught, Adam Thielen, touchdown!
He'll toss it that way to Hampton, and he is in. Touchdown, Carolina.
Bailey, shotgun, snap left hashes, QB keeper, dives forward, touchdown. Bailey is third of the night.
Cooper faces up with 5 and 4, drives Davis, spins, waiting, fades away, and hits! Game over! Series over! Sebastian!
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
That's right. The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. And we are live outside the Lenovo Center, but also for today, Carter Finley Stadium, where the NC State Wolfpack football team will be kicking off their season against ECU in about 4 hours. 7 o'clock scheduled opening kick for that one. And we'll be bringing you the atmosphere from Tailgate Land throughout the show.
And people are here, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
People are here.
Lots opened up at 2. And I have to be honest, some of these tailgate setups have probably taken the full hour to set up.
Yeah.
They don't play around.
When we got here about 1:15, 1:30, and there were already cars lined up waiting to get into the lot.
If anyone has us, the station brought up at their tailgate, I will apologize for just driving right by you because I had the media pass. I had the media pass. We had to get here to get set up. It wasn't personal. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Just because we're outside Carter Finley getting ready for football doesn't mean we start the show any differently. We start with the big 3 at 3. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. The obvious number 1.
Number 1.
NC State hosting ECU. The reason why we're out here.
Why we're here.
It is number 1. I'll give some background here. The NC State and ECU rivalry, as some would call it, and some would be very against, are, they're going to play football tonight. And before we get into that history and if it for making this broadcast possible. We are on location thanks to Dogwood Bank. So get our thank yous for an excellent experience.
Stronger community, stronger futures. Dogwood State Bank, proud sponsor of the PAC, member FDIC.
And along with thanking Dogwood, we are good to go. All right, we had some. It's one of our first remote broadcasts in a while. Had a little technical glitch there, but now we're up and running. Here comes the energy. Over the last 8 ECU versus NC State games, right? ECU at NC State at ECU, the bowl game from last year. If you go back 8 games in this matchup, the two teams were 4-4. If you go back 5 games, or I should say 10 games in this matchup, two teams are 5-5. Go back 12 games, they're 6-6. You go back 14 games, they're 7-7. These teams, going back to 1996, which is when their 14th into the past matchup has gone, they are exactly even. You can go all the way back to 1981. They are at 11-11 in their last 22. And then, obviously, as many will tell you, State does own the longtime series, 19-14 overall, dating back to 1970. But there are multiple periods of this rivalry where it has been back and forth, where it has been a little bit for ECU, a little bit for State, swinging back and forth. And that's why a game like today, although to somebody somewhere else it might be a Power 5 conference team against a non-power conference team, there's a 2-score spread on the game, 14 points. Last I checked, the Wolfpack are the favorite. But when you put these two teams on a football field over the last 20, 30, 40 years, there really has been about a 50-50 chance that either one's going to walk out of there with a win. Some great players on both sides of the ball have played in this rivalry. And I think it's why, even when somebody like Dave Doeren says it's not a rivalry, or when some fans say, oh, you're not our rival going from NC State towards ECU, the tickets are still really high priced today.
Yeah.
There's still an extra buzz. Like your words may say something, but your vibe says something else. This game is going to be one that's a little bit more personal.
I mean, if you go last 20 games, it's 11-9 ECU advantage in the last 20 matchups between these two schools. If you look at the 6 games that Dave Doeren has coached against East Carolina, it's 3-3. And let's not forget, a couple seasons ago in Greenville to start the season, if ECU makes a cake at the end of the game, ECU walks away with a win over a top 15 team in NC State that day. NC State squeaked by. So, I mean, we'll talk about Dave Doeren here in about 10 minutes or so, but I'm sorry, like, Dave, this is a rivalry. This is a rivalry.
Really the only argument against rivalries when two teams have like a regional conflict or fans are in close proximity is when you say, well, the other team has to win a few before it's a rivalry.
They've won 11 of the last 20.
And 4 of the last 8 and 5 of the last 10 and 6 of the last 12. Like it's hard to go against you. And there's the victory barrel. I don't know if it were just some other game, you wouldn't be passing back and forth a trophy and etching scores into a barrel. So there's a lot going on there. And as Dennis said, in about 10 minutes, we will talk about the Dave Doeren impact, meaning the impact this game can have on Dave Doeren and the standing as his head coach at NC State, as the head coach at NC State in a little bit. In the meantime, though, that's number 1. We'll roll to number 2.
Number 2.
And across the triangle, there's another college football game tonight. NC State isn't the only team in the triangle starting their college football season tonight. Duke hosting Elon in their opener, right, which is year number 2 of the Manny Diaz era, year number 1, and who knows how many there will be, of the Darian Mensah at quarterback era for Duke. There's a few things that go into this one, right? There's everything I just said, right? Diaz year 2, he's trying to build on what they put together last year, trying to get that elusive 10-win season that is so important to different teams around the country. But also it is, to me, the first season in a while that comes with like full 100% high expectations for Duke. Multiple All-Americans, right? $4 million quarterback, according to reports. You've now had 8 wins or more in the last 3 seasons, including 2 9-win seasons. You've upset Clemson. You've won big games. You broke some records school-wide, like school history. You've broken some passing records last year. Then moved on from that quarterback and brought in a more expensive model. Like, this is a year where Duke has legitimate expectations. It's not, can Manny Diaz keep it rolling from Mike Elko? It's not the beginnings of a turnaround from the end of the Cutcliffe era, which is kind of what the Mike Elko era is. Now it's a team that's been good for 3 years, and you're bringing back Chandler Rivers, one of the best players in the country. Brian Parker II, one of the best offensive linemen in the league. A strong offensive line in total, a strong secondary in total, a high-priced quarterback, and it's a little bit different. It almost feels like they're going to be the hunted more than they've been in the last since I've been watching college football, rather than the huntee, which they've been.
Yeah, when you go 9 wins, 8 wins, 9 wins, there's no sneaking up on anybody anymore if you're Duke. Not like, yeah, it's Duke. Yeah, if they finish with 8 wins, great season. And that's not the standard that's there now. Like you said, Elko raised it. Manny Diaz kept it there. I will say the advantage that a team like Duke has tonight playing an FCS opponent in Elon is they get a chance to kind of work out the kinks. It's like almost like a glorified preseason game that actually does count, if that makes sense. They get a chance to make a mistake or two and figure stuff out. So when they actually go into Illinois next week, they have a little bit of a leg up as opposed to some of these schools that are starting maybe an FBS opponent like ECU coming here to NC State, or you get Clemson playing LSU week 1. Some schools don't get that opportunity. And with Mensa and the offense, so many different new guys, like you said, Tim, it's a chance to work through things early on in the year.
I will quote Paul Crew, a.k.a. Adam Sandler's character in the second longest yard. It's a tune-up game.
Yeah, it's a tune-up game.
You need a tune-up game, right? And he basically said we'd play an FCS opponent our first game. And
he specifically said Appalachian State.
Yeah, I was going to go there. There's a lot of in-state talk. We got ECU, we got State, we got Elon, we got Duke. I didn't feel like we need to throw the ricochet shot towards App State. But he said App State. You need a tune-up game, right? So Elon doesn't want to hear that. Matter of fact, they should take it as disrespect and do everything they can to not be a tune-up game. But that's what Duke's looking for, right? Go get your offense cruising, let your defense hit some people, come out on the other side with an easy win, move on to next week. That is number 2 of the big 3 at 3. Let's hit number 3.
Number 3.
So we've talked NC State, talked football, big game, rivalry. We've talked Duke, tune-up game, building on expectations. As should, I guess, happen when we talk UNC, we'll talk the sideshow and the circus that follows Bill Belichick, right? Their game's not till Monday. They've got time for TCU.
Yeah.
On August 25th, this according to reports that were first filed by People magazine, so you know where we're going here, but have since been corroborated by many other periodicals.
So that was this past Monday, August 25th.
August 25th, yeah, this week. The company TCE Rights Management, which is managed by Jordan Hudson, the girlfriend of Bill Belichick, filed a trademark application for the term gold digger to be used for jewelry or keychains per filing records reviewed, again, by People. The application is actively awaiting assignment to an examining attorney.
Oh, my God.
Jewelry and trinkets is the usage for gold digger.
Oh, God.
Trademarked by Belichick. And his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And business partner, by the way.
Yep.
The same company also filed for several trademarks earlier this year, including All Belichick Team, Chapel Bill, The Belichick Way, and Dynasty, parentheses, Bill's version, amongst others.
I mean, Chapel Bill, that one's, I think, is a legit one to go after, but gold digger? I mean, what does Kanye feel?
Hey, I ain't saying she's a – but here's the point. They're trying to, own the – I think they're trying to, do the when a bully bullies you, ignore them, show them that it doesn't hurt you.
Yeah.
But I actually think it's kind of like, we got the jokesters have real estate in your brain, don't they?
Yeah.
You're going to go around with some kind of jewelry or trinket line that says gold digger on it. And you think that's going to get people to stop assuming that the 24, 25-year-old girl that's with the 74-year-old super millionaire is you must not be a gold digger if you're – I don't know. It's a weird ninja move to clap back at the haters.
Tim, I'm going to ask you a very personal question here.
Okay.
You're a married man.
I am.
I will soon be one day. If you were to give your wife some sort of jewelry that said gold digger on it, how much longer would you be married? I'm asking for a friend here,
I would assume that I would pay a price more significant than the price I paid to buy whatever the jewelry was. I'd like to think we'd be able to stick it out, but it would not be a fun little while for me.
Yeah.
Couch cushions and blankets on the couch might be necessary.
Yep.
Gold digger is funny. And by the way, hey, whatever floats your boat, right? Like if it's what their relationship needs to stay up on the haters, go ahead. I'm rooting for happiness for everyone involved.
True. And if you make money off it, props. If you make money off it, if the trademarks go through, you make money off it, props.
I'm trying to think of what an example of this even would be. Like if I don't Andy Dalton, like the red rifle, if he thought that was an insult and then he trademarked it and sold it and was like, all right, every time you make fun of me, I make a nickel. Maybe that's what they're going for here. Here's my next question.
Uh-huh.
Do you think there's like 24-year-olds around the country that are dating 70-year-old millionaires that are like, oh, you can't trademark that. That's my thing. I've been doing the gold digger thing long before you, lady.
That's my shtick.
You're new to the game. I'm on my third 70-year-old millionaire.
Do you think at the end of the season when State and Carolina play each other, if Carolina wins, does Bill hand one to Dave Doeren?
Ooh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Because you never know. That could be Dave Doran's last game.
If you're an opposing student section, do you buy some and wear it in the student section? All right, let's move on. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That's the like I said, the hot gossip section of it. We're going to get back to football when we return. What does the result need to be today here inside Carter Finley, right to our left, and for the season for NC State? To judge Dave Doeren, is the State fan base happy with him? Is his seat hot? What do the results do to impact Dave Doeren? Coming up next.
Stitches, itches, aches, and pains. Strep and sinus, minor sprains. Pink eye, earaches, fever, flu. Virtual visits, physicals too. At WakeMed MyCare 365, we offer both walk-in primary care and urgent care. So find the MyCare location nearest you at wakemed.org. Walk right in, and for just about anything from asthma, rashes, and examinations to x-rays, labs, and vaccinations, make MyCare your care.
Dear McDonald's, your breakfast menu? Fire. 10s across the board. I could be happy with anything, even though I order the same thing every time. Thanks for not judging me. I'll try something new next time. Maybe.
Get your faves for less. Buy a sausage McMuffin with egg for $2.50 at any size Sprite for $1.49. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Listen up, football fans. You call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. Must be physically located in North Carolina. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Stay informed with The Rundown, the daily newsletter from High School OT that delivers high school sports news and insights straight to your inbox. Brought to you by High School OT and powered by our sponsors, First Carolina Bank and Smith Douglas Homes. Subscribe to The Rundown at highschoolot.com.
It's game night in Cary. North Carolina FC takes on the Hartford Athletic on Saturday, August 30th at First Horizon Stadium at 7:30 p.m. Get your tickets at tickets.northcarolinafc.com. Don't miss a moment of the action. Stay cool, stay fierce.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Excellent rejoin from Max Gorin back
Well
at the
done.
studio, keeping us up and running. Do you think if you can't even put Kanye, Jamie Foxx lyrics on a trinket or a piece of jewelry once Jordan Hudson and Bill Belichick are awarded, if they are awarded their application for the Gold Digger trademark? I don't even know where to go with that. Let's move back to the football. It is. You know what it is? I'm giddy. I'm
pumped.
The college football starts in earnest today. I know we had week 0 last week, but that's really, that's walking through the food court and you get the little spoon of a sample. Right now, we've waited in line. We're there. We're ready to get a full meal. Right? It's not just to whet our whistle. We're here to get a full engulfment of football. We are outside of Carter Finley Stadium. Thank you to Dogwood Bank for providing us the opportunity to be out here. We are out here presented by them. But also, we're out here to see where this state season goes and how much that could impact or will impact Dave Doeren, their head coach. Now, I'm gonna do the coach speak thing here, and then I'm gonna come back to what it actually is. ECU as an opener for state is one game on a schedule, right? It doesn't impact your ability to make the ACC championship. It's one game. Whatever happens, you're still gonna put the cleats on, the helmet on. You're still gonna play next week. It's a non-conference game against a non-power conference opponent. But also, it's your opening statement. Also, it's your statement that last year was a fluke, right? It's rare that you play the last game of last year, the Military Bowl, and then the first game of this year against the same team, where last year was a disappointing season overall. You went 6-7, you finished below 500, and the last game against ECU was a disappointing game. You lost, you fought, you had players ejected. It was a game that quite frankly embarrassed the program a bit, and now you get to come back this year against the same team and say, this is different, right? We get to make that statement right out the gate is what NC State is thinking, right? Not only is this a different season where 6-7 is unacceptable, but this is a different team where losing to ECU and getting caught up in the extracurriculars is unacceptable. And Dave Doeren, during his early media availability earlier, actually last week, but it was game week for tonight's game last Friday, he was asked if the opener feels bigger playing against ECU.
Well, it feels different because of how we acted at the end of the season. To me, we didn't live up to the privilege we have to be at this university, to work at this university. And it starts with me. I said that after the game. And so it's an opportunity to go play. And it is about who we're playing, obviously, because you have to know their personnel and their coaches and their schemes. It's always going to be about who you're playing. This is way more about how we play and how we carry the torch for this university and the reputation we want to have as a program. And so I do think that makes it different. We have played them back-to-back before, that was written about. I read one of the articles. So it's not new to play someone back-to-back. We've done that, but it's more about us than anything.
Once again, that was Dave Doeren at his media availability on Friday ahead of the matchup for NC State opening their season against ECU. As I said earlier, a little giddy about college football being here, so I skipped over a whole bunch of words. Dogwood State Bank is who we want to thank, which I was thinking in my head, but apparently didn't say it all out loud. Stronger communities, stronger futures. Dogwood State Bank, proud sponsor of the PAC, member FDIC. Let that be a lesson to CJ Bailey, the sophomore quarterback for NC State. If heart gets beaten a little fast, you're excited, it's game number one. Maybe take a deep breath, make sure you're not missing your details.
Yeah, focus on the details. Remember your training.
There you go. What does today mean specifically for Dave Doeren? There's two questions we're going to ask here. What result do state fans need to be happy walking out of Carter Finley Stadium later tonight? And what result do state fans need to be putting Dave Doeren on the hot seat, if that's the way we want to describe it, when they're walking out of Carter Finley? And I'm gonna be clear here. My initial reaction, like all of your initial reactions, was likely to go win by X amount of points, right? If you win by, if you cover the spread, 14. If you win by 21, if you do this, if you get the win by enough that I can brag about it to my friends that went to ECU, we're good.
Do my backups play the whole fourth quarter?
I think it's more something along those lines. I think it's a vibe. I think it's an eye test, because my first thought was to say like 17 points, right? The spread is 14, win by a little more. Nobody's got the ball with 4 minutes left thinking if we score quick, we got a chance. Like make it a legit 3-score game, right? Not within 16 where a team has thoughts. But then I thought back to last year, where Western Carolina was leading State at the end of the third quarter of their opener, and State did go on to win by 17. And I was like, you know what? Leaving that arena, we were doing some mental gymnastics to not be worried about NC State, right? Oh, they're looking towards Tennessee next week. Oh, they had so many transfers.
Yeah, all these new guys.
Oh, it was a feeling out game. When in actuality, there were already the signs of what was going to be a tough season, right? There were already the signs of what some things were going to be that they were going to have a hard time overcoming. So we could be very concrete and say, be ahead by 14 at half or something like that. But really, I think you need to dominate the eye test, right? If at any point in time it looks like a fair fight. See, when he was on our show not that long ago, we had him on to talk about their season and talk about NC State, this game. And he hypothesized, without knowing the exact details, that CJ Bailey, the quarterback for State, may be making more in NIL than everyone on ECU combined. And whether that's true or not, it paints the disparity in resources pretty darn well, right? So if you're NC State and that is even a something that someone is willing to say publicly, you better look like you are significantly more expensive and significantly more talented than the other team. I think they need to, again, eye test, dominate. And whether that is getting your backups in early, which is kind of, I always think of it because I was a quarterback. When your quarterback unstraps his rib protector, and that's like hey, I'm not going back in, I'm good. What time in the game is that? Is that after the first series of the second half? When we were ahead by a lot, the coaches always put us in and said, hey, you're getting the ball first series, you go down, put points up, your day is done. And then it became let's go start the second half on a good, pass it over to the backups, and we're done. You unstrap your rib protector and you move on. So if CJ Bailey has his metaphorical, I don't know if he'll actually do it, if he has his rib protector unstrapped by the beginning of the fourth quarter, that's probably a pretty good way to look at it, saying you were a dominant team, your coach isn't worried about anything, you looked the part, let's go ahead and throw this one in there.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing as well. I think if this game is tight like it was last year against Western Carolina, or if we see it hey, it's a one-score game with 5 minutes left type deal, that's gonna put NC State fans uneasy because they're gonna look at that and go, well, what's different than last year?
Yep.
What's changed? What's changed from the bowl game, which was a close game last year, but what's different? I think that's the thing, is that it has to be that blowout type level. And for example, there's NC State fans in our YouTube live chat. For example, Tom Hunsberger says, if NC State loses tonight, which by the way, if they lose tonight, automatic hot seat. But if NC State loses tonight and they don't bounce back and get 8 or 9 wins this season, then you'll have folks that will definitely want to change that head coach.
We'll take another minute here because I also put down season-long stuff, and we can debate this throughout the show. To be happy, I think 9 wins or more. To stay off the hot seat, I think 8 wins or more. With some cheat code stuff, in that even if you don't win many or any other games, if you beat UNC, ECU, Wake, Duke, and Notre Dame on the road, then that's down, up, left, right, circle, start. That's a cheat code. That's okay, now you've won the ones that matter. You've hit the magic combo. We're gonna love you regardless, right? So there's a bunch of different ways to get there, but I don't think there's many good outcomes that start with a loss to ECU at the beginning of the year from a vibes and job security standpoint. Then you're fighting for your life, and you're fighting metaphorical life, obviously, but then you're fighting for your coachdom and your culture and everything else. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have the Dean's List coming up. But first, I want to tell you something. I want to tell you all about DraftKings Sportsbook. You're darn right I do. And here's why. Because we've been talking about the spread a decent amount already today. Tim Donnelly here for DraftKings Sportsbook, where, if you were to go on there right now, NC State, 14-point favorite over ECU in the game being played right here to my left in Carter Finley Stadium. All lines and odds are subject to change, so move quick if you want that number. But basically, it's week 1, game on. It starts now. Every touchdown brings you closer to NFL. It isn't just football, by the way. It's first touchdown fireworks. Anytime TD rushes. Live bets that ride with every momentum shift. New customers, this one's for you also. Bet $5, get $300 in bonus bets. That's right. $5 gets you $300 in bonus bets. All you have to do, is download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code TIMD. That's code TIMD with no spaces. And new customers, when you bet your first $5, will get $300 instantly in bonus bets. In partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-1855. ng.co/audio. We have the Dean's List coming up. College football, week 1. It's here, everybody. Dean's List next.
Guys, Marcy Bailey here from Bailey's Fine Jewelry with some diamond advice. Buying an engagement ring doesn't have to be so complicated. We've been doing this since 1948, and we know what women want, a combination of size and quality. And a little hint here, size wins big. We guarantee you can be in and out in under an hour, and she'll love the ring or your money back. It's that easy. Come see why we're voted the best place to buy a diamond. And remember, every woman wants a Bailey box.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Live outside of Carter Finley Stadium, the home of the NC State Wolfpack, where now, 3.5 hours away?
Yeah, roughly.
3.5 hours away from an opening kick. You know it's a good day when I'm doing on-air math and nailing it like that.
I know.
I was off by just about 30 seconds, and I'll take that.
By the way,
go ahead.
when we are off air at 6 o'clock, it goes right into the ECU pregame. So
That's
ECU pregame here on 99.9
Yes.
The Fan. If you want the NC State broadcast, it's going to be on our sister station, Mix 101.5. We got all the bases covered for tonight. Also, if you want to hear Duke Elon, that's over on Buzz Sports Radio, folks. You want college football in the triangle, we got you covered.
But obviously, keep it tuned right here for the remainder of this show.
Of course.
Regardless of what you're looking for at 6 o'clock.
True.
Because you get things like the Dean's List. Let's put it in session. All right, class is in session. And I'm going to start with one of my new campaigns.
Okay.
Weaponize the schedule. A couple of them. First of all, I want to say this. This game counts. NC State-ECU. Granted, there has been some pressure by legislators and things to keep these power conference, non-power conference, in-state games permanently a fixture of schedules for the foreseeable future. But if I'm state and I'm solely thinking about winning games and I'm solely thinking about doing what's best for making the CFP and everything else, if I'm going to play a non-power conference game, I'm looking for a significantly easier win than ECU. ECU is they're squirrely, right? Like they'll come up and bite you.
Yeah.
So the fact that you're scheduling this game, A, means you're not afraid, which I respect. B, you also understand what your fans want to see. Like your fans want ECU much more than they'd want, I always do this where I use this as a example, and then I just end up being mean to a school. But it's more than Sam Houston State, right? You're not looking for a team to just go ahead and dirty. You're looking for a team that's going to give you a contest, and you're looking for a team that your fans are going to appreciate. And on top of that, it's good for recruiting, right? Like, let's say you brought in a directional Michigan, right? Or some other random Conference USA team that's not as good as ECU. Would your lot behind us be as full this early for tailgating?
Yeah.
Would the excitement all week be as high? It probably wouldn't. So for recruits and for everything else, weaponize your schedule, right? Don't let a non-conference game go by just trying to get a easy win. Go with a task. Go with something you're trying to prove.
So weaponized schedules on the Dean's list?
No, Harvard and Yale are on the Dean's
okay.
list because they're playing in Fenway in 2026.
That's awesome.
Harvard, Yale, in Fenway. When you're Harvard and Yale, by the way, Harvard does get some pretty solid recruits. Cooper Barkate, who just transferred to Duke and is expected to be a starting wide receiver, comes from Harvard and had offers to power conference schools, group of 5 schools coming out of high school, chose Harvard. So when they're trying to distinguish themselves from everybody else, they need, aside from academics, and it's Harvard, right? You could be a man of Harvard, like they say in Social Network. Hey, we'll get to play in Fenway against Yale is a pretty good one. So it's a cool deal, and I like cool atmosphere games. I like rivalry games. I like non-conference games that mean something. I like conference games played in cool venues. And I don't like that. What was that, a Yellow Jacket?
Yeah, look like a Yellow Jacket. And Georgia Tech doesn't come up here for a while in the Triangle.
Get away from me.
So I mean, that's kind of cool. It's like you could take a rivalry, Harvard-Yale, a rivalry game, and play it at a venue like that. That's just super cool. It's a fun experience. I would say one of my most fun experiences playing college lacrosse was we actually played a school that was located just on the edge of New York City, but we played the game on Manhattan at Columbia is where we played the game. It was super cool being able to play a game right in the middle of New York City, right off Broadway, and on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. That was one of the most fun experiences I had playing lacrosse in college, and those kinds of experiences definitely matter.
Next up on the Dean's list, I'm going with a couple of interior trench linemen that played their college football right here in the Triangle.
All right.
One, Aleem McNeil. Aleem McNeil played at NC State from 2018 to 2020. Also, prior to that, Sanderson High School, which is also in the state of North Carolina,
here in Raleigh.
One of our local schools. I believe that would have been graduate of 2017. He's having his jersey retired tomorrow. Friday is going to be a special one. Number 29 jersey of Aleem McNeil will be retired. That's got to be one of the cooler things, right? Just having your jersey retired at your high school. So many pros and college athletes will tell you that some of the most fun they had playing. Also, Aleem McNeil, wildly athletic, wildly impressive individual. I believe he's on a $100 million contract with the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, it was a third-round draft pick by Detroit.
It's gone well for him since, but going back to where it all started.
He played off-ball linebacker at Sanderson. I called a couple of his games for high school OT. Guy was playing off-ball linebacker, also would line up as a tight end or occasionally a running back. Just absolute beast.
He's a big boy in the NFL now.
Yeah.
The other Dean's List interior trench lineman that is on the list is Willie Lampkin. We talked about it yesterday. Willie Lampkin, All-American at UNC, Carolina, guard, but an undersized guy, goes undrafted. He's on the Rams, doesn't make the 53 roster, gets picked up by the Eagles. Apparently, the Eagles broke some unwritten rule that I was unaware of. He was actually put on the waived injured list, which makes him exposed. Other teams can claim him. But I guess there is a unwritten rule in the NFL that if somebody is on the injured version of waived, you don't let them, you don't touch them. You kind of let them stay with that team. And I guess it's a thing that very occasionally gets broken and it becomes a little bit of a forget you then move. So the Eagles thought enough of Willie Lampkin to potentially burn some relationship bridges with the Los Angeles Rams, which, you could say all is fair in love and war, football and claiming players off the 53, but it's gotta be kind of cool for Willie Lampkin. Like you're throwing beanballs and stuff, sliding spikes up, breaking the unwritten rules to get the player on your team.
Well, here's my thing about unwritten rules. If you want it to be a rule, make it a rule.
Yeah.
If it was legally allowed to do, then quit your whining.
Trust me, I hate unwritten rules more than anybody.
Oh yeah.
But I would also throw this out there, there's no rule that says the Rams have to, be cool with the Eagles in negotiations.
There's also that too.
You can handle it yourselves as long as it's all within the rules. Nobody's throwing an actual beanball.
It's like, you want that number 4 wide receiver? We need a first.
Yeah, exactly. or forget you. Remember Willie Lampkin? And it happens at all levels. We are very aware of a certain offer sheet situation where maybe a grudge between one team led to an offer sheet with a different player years later. That has something to do with the team that plays in the arena to our right. They play in the Lenovo Center, the Carolina Hurricanes. To the left is the reason we're out here today, though. We're here for the opener between NC State and ECU in Carter Finley Stadium. Do you have a Dean's List you'd like to throw out there?
I do. My Dean's List is everyone playing college football today, because I know there's week 0, but today really feels like the first day of college football. So everyone playing college football today, Dean's List.
Along the lines of, if unwritten rules were important enough, you'd write them down. If week 0 were college football, they'd call it week 1.
They would.
Week 0 means no football. Means 0. Last one here, Delaware Blue Hens, everybody. Opening football tonight. Versus Delaware State, 30.5-point favorites. First game is an FBS school, but I do say this to let you guys know, right? Because one person wrote to me on Twitter, was like, "We get it, you went to Delaware," and I was like, "Yeah, you do. You know what? Big fan, passionate about it. I don't hide it. Do you know why? Because that shows that I get it when you're up in arms about your team. When your team makes a mistake, I know what it's like. Let's go, Hens. I'll settle for anything. 34 or more in the winning margin. Anything less, unacceptable against Del State. Deshaun Jackson used to be a fan. Now you're the coach of Del State. Get out of my face. Go Hens. Dean's List dismissed. And with Dean's List dismissed, we will welcome into the show in just a couple of minutes Kat Campbell, WRAL meteorologist. She'll give us a little bit of a tailgate weather report, what you can expect for this afternoon into the evening, and maybe what's going on later in the weekend as well for other tailgating opportunities. Kat Campbell joins us next.
Are you trapped in a high-rate mortgage, watching your hard-earned money vanish every month? Stop. Right now at Loan Pronto, they are delivering the lowest mortgage rates in 3 years. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto's rate reduction home loan program is a streamlined, low-cost way to slash your house payments by hundreds of dollars a month. Lock in a fixed rate as low as 4.99% APR and close in as little as 2 weeks. No appraisal needed in most cases. And here's the kicker. You can skip your next 2 house payments entirely. Don't wait. Rates this low won't last. Call Loan Pronto now for your free, no-obligation quote. Loan Pronto is amazing. Imagine lower payments, more money in your pocket, and a fresh start with a better mortgage. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com to lock in your new low rate and skip those next 2 payments. Don't let the high rates hold you back. Call 919-381-1760 or go to loanpronto.com right now. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
It's bow time. Something new just dropped at Bojangles. Take the bold taste of a crispy golden chicken supreme that's been seasoned to perfection, then add dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, and a toasted bun that's great on the go. What do you get? You get a Bo's Bird Dog. In fact, you can grab 2 of them for $5. So when you're on the go, headed to practice, or need a snack, grab a Bo's Bird Dog. Hurry in before they're gone. Available for a limited time. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time, but sometimes it's go time. No time to stop, but the perfect time for a Bojangles Bird Dog. A seasoned to perfection Bojangles Chicken Supremes, dill pickles, and Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, all tucked inside a toasted bun. Great on the go. Try 2 Bird Dogs for just $5 or 2 Bird Dog Combo for just $8.25. Available for limited time only. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
Stitches, itches, aches, and pains. Strep and sinus, minor sprains. Pink eye, earaches, fever, flu. Virtual visits, physicals too. At WakeMed MyCare 365, we offer both walk-in primary care and urgent care. So find the MyCare location nearest you at wakemed.org. Walk right in, and for just about anything from asthma, rashes, and examinations to x-rays, labs, and vaccinations, make MyCare your care.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, live at Carter Finley Stadium, getting you ready for the opening game of the college football season for the NC State Wolfpack and the visiting ECU squad here with an opener about 7 o'clock opening kick, and the weather, at least as it stands right now, pretty good. We'll check up with Kat Campbell right now, WRAL meteorologist, to see if it's going to stay this way. Kat, as always, thank you for joining us on the Heister Automotive Group hotline. We'll start with just that. Is this, which is pretty good weather right now, where we're sitting, what we can expect for the rest of the night?
Oh, yeah. We're talking 76 degrees at kickoff. It is going to be absolutely incredible. And I've got to remind you, last year, for our first game against Western Carolina, the high was 97 degrees with a heat index of 107 degrees that day. So for it to be 76 degrees with low humidity at kickoff is, I don't know what we did to deserve this, but it is unreal. This is not normal for this time of year, but I am loving it.
As a former quarterback, I have to ask this question. What's the wind situation? Is there anything we need to be aware of?
No, the wind is not going to be significant at all tonight.
Beautiful.
It's just a light west-southwest wind. I wouldn't worry too much about that. Just enjoy that the players will not be soaked in sweat as bad, as last year for sure. And everybody out of the game too.
Seriously, cramping and everything. I remember sitting out here last year and thinking players in the fourth quarter would be in a tough spot. So it's good to hear that we'll have these cooler temperatures throughout. Let's look throughout the weekend, right? There's games. Oh, go ahead.
Football weather, just in time for football. This is perfect. Just perfect. I can't believe that we actually have football weather for the start of the football season.
Absolutely love it. Throughout the weekend, right? Obviously, Wake Forest plays tomorrow. There's high school games. There's college games throughout the weekend. UNC will be playing on Monday. What's the weather like around the area over the next few days once we get through tonight's lovely atmosphere for an NC State ECU game?
Well, tonight will also be great for Duke and Elon. Tomorrow looks great for high school football. It is going to be a little bit warmer tomorrow. Mid-80s for highs during the afternoon, maybe upper 80s in Fayetteville for the high school football games, but still dry, and that's what's key. And then once we get to the weekend, just a tiny chance for rain Saturday. Monday for the UNC-TCU game, it'll be partly cloudy. We only have, temperatures in the upper 70s for that kickoff, so it really should be quite nice for that game as well. We did take out rain chances on Monday, so all the UNC fans, we are being fair. We're mentioning your forecast too, and it looks pretty good.
Kat, I know you're a State alum, so and a big State football fan. So last year, kind of unbearable weather. Season didn't go the way it wanted. Does excellent weather here, or does that mean the omen is excellent season for your Wolfpack?
I hope so. I hope that it's the great weather that's the omen that's going to help us do well. But I think expectations are not high for us this year. And I think the years where we just go in with moderate expectations are good years. So I hope that means we're off to a good start this year.
Kat, we appreciate you. Obviously, we always ask for a pick and we ask for things. So before we let you go here, do you have a score prediction, a vibe, something you like about tonight's game?
Ooh. Well, I obviously think NC State's going to win, but let's go 21-3. We'll get
21-3.
21-3. Okay.
Love it.
Some good credit there.
All right, Kat. We appreciate you as always. For giving us the tailgate weather report, and we'll keep following along over at WRL.
Okay, sounds good. Talk to y'all later. Bye.
Once again, Kat Campbell, WRAL meteorologist, joining us on the Heister Automotive Group hotline. I I don't know if everybody knows this. I reference it occasionally. Spent a good part of my childhood growing up in Hawaii, and I used to say the person with the easiest job in the world was the weather person in Hawaii, right?
Yeah.
It's 80, trade winds off the water, moving west. Talk to you tomorrow. Light drizzle in the afternoon. Talk to you tomorrow.
That's it.
Normally, Kat jumps on, and she's got some bit of, a storm could be here. It's going to be 100. It's going to feel like 106, all of these different things. This weekend, it's just she could have gone on and said football weather today, great football weather, tailgating weather tomorrow, all the way through Monday. We'll talk to you on Tuesday. That's the kind of weather report I like. Kat Campbell, WRL meteorologist.
I mean, for State, Duke, Carolina, all for their home openers, you really cannot ask for anything better. And if you're tailgating, whatever it might be, this is perfect, absolutely perfect.
I was just going to say, we talk about this with players. When a quarterback has studs at wide receiver, good offensive line, good play caller, running game that works, we say, well, you got no excuses, right? You just got to go out there and perform. Well, if you're out there trying to put your tailgating best foot forward, last year, 100 degrees, right? Maybe not a super buzzworthy opponent, no offense to Western Carolina. This year, 76, nice breeze, buzzworthy opponent, rivalry game.
Yeah.
Both. You got no excuses. If your tailgate game isn't on point today, you have no one to blame but yourself.
Oh, yeah.
You got to go out and bring your A game today. And that goes for across the triangle, right? There's great weather, great games lined up. We're looking forward to it.
And I thought Kat actually brought something up interesting because Kat being an NC State fan, she's given us an NC State fan perspective on this about the season in terms of not really high expectations for NC State football this year. And generally, that's if you get the feeling of when there isn't high expectations, that's when they play better. Our good friend David Jones, who actually does sports radio out towards the mountains in the Lenore area, actually tweeted at you and I both saying, if NC State fans want to be happy, maybe even giddy when they leave Carter Finley tonight, not a feeling of relieved, like, oh, we got away with the win. If you're feeling relieved, it's actually probably more unsettling than anything else. You want to feel, hey, man, we just blew this team out today. Did you see how good C.J. Bailey looked? That guy with the arm strength, the accuracy, all those things. Oh, wow, Hollywood Smothers, Duke Scott, all these guys. You see everything that they did? That should get you excited. That's at least how NC State fans, I'm sure, want to leave Carter Finley tonight, or if they watch at home, want to have that feeling tonight. Not of like, all right, we got away with that one.
I'll agree with that. I'll open up one other avenue, though.
Mm-hmm.
If you win by 3 scores, 21, right? You win by a hefty margin. It's never in doubt. I would be okay with feeling like there's a little more on the bone.
Sure, and that's okay too.
Yeah, I'd be okay with, you know what? They didn't even really get Noah Rogers involved. Or like just something where it's like, and they missed on that one, double move. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything doesn't have to go perfectly tonight for me to be, optimistic about the future of NC State. But it can't be relieved. It might be a good way to put it. You can't walk away going like, thank goodness we won that one.
Yeah.
It needs to feel like we won that comfortably and also, or, we won that and dominated. Just it can't be relieved is probably a good way to put it. It can't be a relief feeling.
Yeah, I'm sure they probably want to walk out saying, man, we looked good and we could definitely be better.
And there's still a few more things, obviously, that they could have done better.
Oh, imagine when the defense actually gets more reps together with this new system, all those things.
Lot of new players on that defense. But speaking of the atmosphere and everything, I thought this would be a fun deal to end the hour. All 3 teams in the triangle. We'll wrap it up with NC State. They'll go last since we're here, and they'll be the big finale. Pick one game, right? The football gods, the football troll shows up as you're crossing a bridge and says you can only go to one game of each team in the triangle. Right? You can look at the roster, you can look at the schedules, you can look at the rankings, but you can only pick one. And you're going to be there and you're going to have a great experience. Which game are you picking? Which opponent? Which location? Go. Do you want to start with UNC or Duke?
Let's go North Carolina.
North Carolina. I thought this was the easiest one of the bunch looking at their schedule.
Okay.
Clemson week 5.
Yeah.
If UNC beats TCU on Monday and Clemson beats LSU, which are big ifs, but if that happens, I think there's a good chance there's 2 4-0 teams, possibly both ranked, Clemson near the top of the country, going into week 5. And if they lose both of these games this week, there's probably still a good chance they're 3-1. right? So you might have a 4-0, a 3-1, a 3-0, or a 3-1, a 4-0, depending which direction. You might have there's that Clemson game, number 5 in the country, by the way, or number 4 in the country. Excuse me. That's one that to me looks like pretty buzzworthy. The Belichick era, Belichick versus Dabo. It's a thing, and it's home in Chapel Hill.
I had the same one. UNC versus Clemson at home. That was my same one.
Then looking at Duke, I'll let you lead off. What Duke game would be your number 1 draft?
Well, knowing that I'm going to see Clemson, so I'm not going to choose going to Clemson.
I wasn't even thinking this is in the same universe.
Yeah, I honestly, be kind of cool to go down to Tulane.
See Darren Mensa's return?
Yeah, see Mensa going back to Tulane. I just think that
you just want to go to the French Quarter. You want to go on Bourbon Street.
Just go enjoy that. Oh, I've been in New Orleans before. It's an all right city. But I think going down to Tulane would be kind of fun to experience that. So let's just say Tulane on that one.
I'm throwing this one. I think might be a little off the beaten path, but I want week 2 versus Illinois at home.
Yeah, I'll be at that one.
I think that's almost a real-time check on is Duke real this year. You will see it. You'll go into the game with, I hope they are, assuming that they do what they should do against Elon today. You'll go into that game against Illinois with they might be something here, and you will leave either with yep or nah, maybe not. And there will be a point in that game where it happens. So I just think it's like, I don't know. It feels like you're going an archaeological dig. You're going there looking for something. Only you're guaranteed going to find some fossil of a T-Rex. You're going to find what you're looking for, whether it's a yes or a no. So I'm going week 2 versus Illinois, who by the way is ranked in the top 15 in the country, 11th in the country.
Yeah.
NC State. This game right here. Obviously, we'll be here for this game. You might pick it. But
yeah, it might be
in this arena, in this exercise. It can be this game. It can be any other game. You can only watch one. What is it going to be?
I'm going on the road at Notre Dame. NC State on the road under. I've always wanted to go see a game at Notre Dame.
You're watching Rudy on the plane.
Yeah, absolutely. The whole bit. Now I love going up to Notre Dame. That's just a super cool experience.
They're also one of the top teams in the country. I thought this, and this is chalky. This is what's your favorite Queen song? Bohemian Rhapsody. It's right down the middle. I want Week 13 versus UNC. I want Bill Belichick's introduction to the rivalry.
Yeah.
Introducing Bill Belichick to the rivalry with a punch in the mouth seems like something Dave Doeren would be mighty interested in doing.
Oh, for sure.
Metaphorically, obviously, but also he might be interested. Never mind. I just think that game's going to be electric. I hope there's stakes, right? I hope both teams are playing for something pretty big at the end. That would obviously add to it, but quite frankly, in rivalries, you can throw out the records, you can throw out the stakes and just say it's for the rivalry. I want to see UNC in this building to our left here, taking on NC State, Week 13 of the college football season. That's my number 1 draft pick. So there you go. If you have different ones, let us know in the YouTube comments. Head to our YouTube, 99.9 The Fan. Check out the live stream. Jump into the comments. And tell us which games you would put above the ones we chose.
By the way, in our YouTube comment section, there's a lot of NC State haters in the comment section today, and some Duke fandom going on in here as well. I'm not sure if there's Carolina fans in here, but there are definitely a lot of Duke fans that are in the comment section as well. It's interesting. People are trash talking NC State tailgates right now.
Well, do you know what's?
I know we're here at State, but we're not a State show. Believe it or not.
But do you know what might be the unfair nature of that?
What's that?
If you're a UNC fan, it's Thursday at 4:00. You're probably somewhere near a computer. If you're a State fan, you're probably in one of the parking lots around here, and you don't. So
there's that.
UNC is in the comment section. Well, they've got no one to defend themselves right now. They're attacking the State fans, knowing that they've got a drink in their hand. They aren't typing anything, right? They can't defend themselves.
I mean, because the lot that's directly behind us, where we're sitting at next to the Lenovo Center, in between Carter Finley Stadium, behind us is the VIP lot. If you're actually watching on YouTube, so that's not quite as full. But there's a tree line right behind us, actually, where media has to park for Carolina Hurricanes games, and it's packed back there. We can actually see to our back left where the RV, kind of near where the RV lot and stuff all picks up, packed with people directly across from us. People can't see on camera. Absolutely packed. There are people walking by with coolers and stuff. I mean, it's 4:00. Game doesn't kick off for 3 hours.
And I'll say this: I'm all for UNC fans and Duke fans, talking trash. Our tailgates are better. But yeah, take our word for it. It's a pretty lively tailgate scene going on right now. And I think I'm being pretty objective when I say that. But yeah, talk your trash.
There is actually one person that popped in and said, "Go Blue Hens."
Hey, now you want to talk about tailgating. Head up there to Newark, Delaware, see what you got going on. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. When we come back, we have a little football at 4. State fans, what should you know about ECU? What are they going to try to do to pull off the upset like they did at the end of last season? Stick around.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. 1 discount per household.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle.
Check out Bet365.
Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. Must be physically located in North Carolina. T&Cs apply.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Plus free premium delivery with any smart bed and adjustable base. Ends Labor Day. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it.
That one back, that one going, gone!
Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Humidity is still feeling very comfortable. Temperatures creeping up slightly. We'll see a high this afternoon of 82 under partly cloudy skies. Still feels nice overnight tonight. We'll drop it back to 61 and we'll see mostly cloudy skies, but back to some sunshine for tomorrow and a bit warmer with highs in the mid-80s.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 71 points to 45,637. Market update brought to you by Howard Hanna Allen Tate Realtors. Ready to sell your home? Trust the #1 real estate company in the Carolinas, Howard Hanna Allen Tate. Let us show you a real estate experience that is different from all others.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
That's right. Time for football at 4 here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. Want to give a shout out to everybody out there in YouTube world. 99.9 The Fan on YouTube. Subscribe. Do all of those things that you're supposed to do on YouTube. We'd greatly appreciate it. But those in the comment section, it appears as if Dave Doeren, head coach of NC State, is in a real prove-it situation where there might even be some NC State fans, and I say might as if there are NC State fans out there that need to be won over, right? It's not just we're waiting to see. It's they're moving in the opposite direction. For example, one commenter, and there's been some build off of this sentiment, has said that if State were to struggle today or perhaps even lose the game, there might be a State fan out there or two or a bunch that are happy about that because it puts Dave Doeren on the hot seat and they might be in favor of that. Which, by the way, is their right? Like if they think NC State should be a 10-win per season program, they haven't been that. So fans can think what fans want. But what I will say is Dave Doeren can also win those fans back over, right?
Easily.
You go ahead and dominate tonight. You win the games you need to win. You get that 10-win season, or you knock off Notre Dame on the road. You knock off a top 10 ranked Miami team on the road. You win the rivalry games. The beauty of fandom is it is wildly reactionary.
Yeah.
It is the definition of a what have you done for me lately business. So last year, Dave Doeren, the team, not only did they not have a great season, finish below 500, but the exclamation point on the off season was, kind of a real of the fights and everything else at the end of that game. So if I am NC State, I recognize the importance of this season, starting with tonight, in turning the tides back in your favor and changing the wind direction in your momentum sales and getting it back to where Dave Doeren can make some things happen.
I mean, if Dave Doeren and NC State this year, if they hit that 10-win mark,
which by the way hasn't happened for NC State, but I think once in program history,
they 11 one time,
and it was in 2002 with Phillip Rivers as your quarterback. If you need a future NFL Hall of Famer to win double-digit games at quarterback, it's a tall task to just go. Like, they've had Russell Wilson and Mike Glennon and Jacoby Brissett and I mean, we go on and on with all these NFL quarterbacks that have come through NC State. You need the guy that's going to finish 6th all-time in passing yards to get a double-digit win. That's too high of a threshold to need to get to that part of the winning. So I get it. But my point is, like, there are things that Dave Doeren does that connects with the fan base. When he lets Salty Dave out.
Oh, yeah.
When they beat UNC and he hits them with a couple one-liners. When he's got the bourbon and the cigar. Like there are things that NC State connects with. So it really will only take a couple of big wins or a handful of wins strung together and maybe a national ranking. And suddenly everybody will be right back on your side. It's the beauty of sports, and maybe the curse of sports, is no matter how high you are, you're always a season or two away from everybody turning on you. And no matter how low you are, you're always a season or two away from everybody being back on your side and building statues. But either way, nothing good happens without winning.
Yeah.
You have to go out there and take care of business, and it starts today against ECU.
Imagine double-digit win season, you finish in the top 4-5 of the ACC, and we're like, wait, we got our quarterback coming back with CJ Bailey as long as you can keep him and all that kind of stuff. Again, that's you only need that one great season in order for things just to quickly turn around for you.
If you're top 4 or 5 in the ACC with a double-digit win season, I'm not saying you're in the CFP.
You're knocking on the door.
You're watching the selection show with anticipation.
Yeah,
you're watching it going, are we going to be in it? And then fans can say you were snubbed, right? Then you're into different conversations, and that's exciting for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
But it starts with beating ECU. So what are they going to have to beat today? ECU last year, very much a tale of two seasons, right? They had Mike Houston at the beginning, head coach, struggle city. About halfway through, there's a change at quarterback. Caden Hauser comes in. They make the move to institute Blake Harrell as the interim head coach. They finish 5-1. They go to the bowl game. They beat NC State. And suddenly, talking about winning, changing everything, if their season would have ended halfway through last year, they're coming into today's game on some very much like,
yeah.
But because of the way it finished, because of the way it changed, they're coming into today's game full head of steam with some confidence that their coach is the right one, that their quarterback is going to get it done, and they're going to have some things for you, okay? I'll build off of this. Last year, their offense finished 24th in the nation in total yards. 32nd in points per game.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. Caden Hauser, the quarterback I was talking about, he threw for 2,000 yards, 18 touchdowns in just that half a season that he started, right? He didn't start the full season. That's a lot of volume. What I will say is this, 11 interceptions as well. So he's pushing it downfield for big plays. They're either going to be the offense's big plays or the defense's big plays. He's slinging it. He's letting it ride. Chase Soul, their leading receiver from a season ago, hit the transfer portal. He's at Iowa State. But they did bring in Jaquays Petaway from Oklahoma in college football all the time now. Anthony Smith is their leading returning receiver, 41 catches, hit the transfer portal. Now is a player that likely State was going like, no, maybe we should have kept this guy. I wouldn't say anything of note in the returning room. They have a couple guys that have combined for 600 or 700 yards. But Rajai Harris was their leader last year. He is no longer with the program.
Yeah.
Moved on. Eligibility expired. Sorry, getting distracted by the Hampton Farms Peanut dancing to our left here.
That's fine.
Peanut Pete, to be exact. Defense, nothing special. But when you have an offense that's throwing it around and turning it over like their offense does, you're going to be in some difficult positions. And they did give up a bunch of points last year, but that's not to say they didn't finish 5-1. So you're going to get a grab bag, right? You're going to get a grab bag. You're going to get a quarterback that's fearless. You're going to get some players on the outside, and you're going to have a team that's going to throw everything but the kitchen sink at you because they're desperate to get a win against NC State. It's a really interesting. Thank you very much. Give us a prediction. Give us a prediction. What's the score going to be? 38-17 from our, what's your name? What's your name? Frank. Frank says 38-17. Fan walking by here in a State hat, State polo, ready to rock. 38-17. And if you want to go ahead and make your final score predictions in our YouTube live stream, we'll get to some of those throughout the show. And if you get it exactly right, we will surely allow you to brag on air, boast, and we'll give you your props. But you have to get it exactly right. Going back to what I was saying about ECU, they are a team that has quite a bit of. All right, here we go. Sorry, we had some echoing going on in my headphones there. Quite a bit of mystery, as most Group of 5 teams will have. The transfer portal is going to take away your best players most years. Matter of fact, if you're a power conference team, you might be watching today's game, State-ECU, and watching ECU thinking about who you might be able to grab, who you might be able to snag out of the transfer portal this offseason. It is that ruthless in the transfer portal. So ECU from a season ago has 5 or 6 starters that are somewhere in the ACC, somewhere in the Big 12, and they've replaced them with either promoting from within or grabbing transfers, like I mentioned, Petaway, the wide receiver from Oklahoma. It's a give and a take, which does lead to a certain amount of mystery, I guess you could say, going into particularly the first game, right? It is, for those of you that do survivor pools, I'm in one every year. Shout out to Todd in the area. He runs our family pool, my cousin's husband. But it's the pools in the NFL where you have to pick one winner every single week, and if you get it wrong, you're out. And if you pick a team, you can't pick them again. I mean, if you make it out of the first week, you feel like you have a great chance. But the first week, gets you so many times because there's so much new. There's so much that you are unaware of. If you are brand new defensive coordinator, I haven't brought this up enough today, DJ Elliott for NC State, you don't know what ECU is bringing to the table.
You don't.
You don't know how they're replacing the guys that left in the portal. You don't know how they're replacing the guys that left for the NFL. You don't know, what a new defensive coordinator would bring if you're Kurt Roper, the NC State offensive coordinator, because they brought in a new DC to replace Blake Harrell, who was the DC and is now the head coach. So there's a lot of mystery there. So, I know I just kind of unwound everything that I wound up the first 9 minutes. Gave you everything you should expect from ECU, and then 2 minutes to go in the segment. By the way, it's all a mystery, and you can't assume you know any of it.
That's true. I mean, you truly can't. I mean, NC State, like you said, they promoted from within their 2 coordinators, but their defensive scheme is changing.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know fully what to expect from this NC State defense. It's not that 3-3-5 anymore that we've been used to seeing over the last several years.
Week 1, when you're preparing, and I can go back to my college career to speak on this, if there's a change-up in coaches, you're usually watching at least a little bit of the end of last year of the team you're playing for personnel. You're probably watching film from wherever the coordinators were previous, even if they were promoted from, say, a wide receivers coach somewhere else to offensive coordinator or a quarterbacks coach somewhere else. to an offensive coordinator for the team you're playing against, you're probably watching a little bit of film on wherever they were quarterbacks coach, because you'd figure they're bringing some principles there. You're watching film of wherever the head coach was, because obviously he's going to control the bulk of kind of, vibes, I guess, and general strategy. And you're hoping that's enough to have you prepared going into week one. And then you have to be prepared to throw all of that out the window at the end of the first quarter and completely rewrite your expectations because, they're not doing what you thought. It can be that crazy when coaches start getting changed around and players start getting changed around in college. And to make myself feel old here, my entire college career was pre-transfer portal. Yeah. So we didn't even have to deal with the shuffling of players nearly as much as they are today, right? Where, all right, I guess we should watch a little Oklahoma to see what this wide receiver has. I guess we should watch some, Florida State to see what this guy has. Got to watch a little Eastern Michigan to see what this guy has, and some JUCO to see what this guy has. Like, it's going to be a tough spot until you get to halftime and feel like you have a grasp on it.
By the way, Elton in our YouTube live chat says 28-10 NC State. That's the score prediction.
28-10.
Let us know your predictions. Let us know.
We'll give you ours right at the end of the show.
Yes.
Between 5:45 and 6 o'clock, we'll make picks and lock in our predictions so we can brag about it if and when we get it right. We're getting a thumbs up here. Oh, there you go. Dennis, talking to you. In the meantime, Tim Donnelly here for Bailey's Fine Jewelry. Bailey's Fine Jewelry, specifically the Fox and Bailey Watch Shop, located inside Bailey's Fine Jewelry at their Village District location. And for those of you on YouTube, you can see it. I forgot to put my watch on this morning.
Yeah.
And I feel naked. You can see my
tan line.
See my tan line. But it's a thing, right? And actually, a day like today, I would have sat in front of my watch case and I would have found the one with the vibe I wanted for a game day. Am I looking for sporty and rugged? Am I expecting this game to be something knockdown, drag out? Maybe I'll grab a military-inspired watch, something from Hamilton. If I were at Bailey's Fine Jewelry, maybe today I want it to be smooth and classy, right? I want deep balls, down completions. I want highly sophisticated routes. Maybe I would have grabbed something like an Omega Constellation, little dress watch, put it on here. Maybe if you're on the road to open your season, you want a business trip, so you're going to throw on maybe a pre-owned or vintage Rolex in and out of the bus, let everybody know you're here for business. Your watch can help control your mood. It can help make the statement about your day. Fox and Bailey Watch Shop wants you to be able to make every statement in the book. Go ahead and give them a follow on Instagram, Fox and Bailey Watch Shop. By the way, all those brands that I mentioned are fully available at the Fox and Bailey Watch Shop located inside Bailey's Fine Jewelry at their Village District location in Raleigh. Make sure they know you heard about it from me, Tim, on 99.9 The Fan. When we come back, we'll hit a little ACC cons, and we'll hear from Cory Smith of Pack Pride for his expectations going into not just the opener for State, but the season for NC State football. Stick around.
ECU Pirates football tonight.
Trisha Harris at the 20, 25, 30 down the left side, 40. He makes a man miss at the 50. Off to the races, 40, 30. A chase is on. 10, 5, touchdown. You gotta be serious. You gotta be kidding me. On a handoff.
ECU takes on NC State. Pregame starts at 6. Kickoff at 7 on 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle's home for college football.
Things today can seem kinda unpredictable. Who knows what's around the corner, right? Well, at Total Wireless, we want to give you something to be sure about. With us, you save 50% off Metro and Cricket when you switch with one line. Guaranteed. And you get to keep the phone and number you love. Visit our Total Wireless store today. 50% savings for unlimited plans versus comparable Total Wireless unlimited phone plans based on standard plan rates. Some customers may only receive the guaranteed savings after contacting us and validating the current plan rate. Excludes promotional, discounted, and bring your phone rates. For total 5G unlimited plan or higher, auto pay required. Applied on next renewal date. Additional terms apply.
Dear McDonald's, your breakfast menu? Fire. 10s across the board. I could be happy with anything, even though I order the same thing every time. Thanks for not judging me. I'll try something new next time. Maybe.
Get your faves for less. Buy a sausage McMuffin with egg for $2.50 at any size Sprite for $1.49. Price of participation may vary, cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
At
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
Progressive's teen driver discount could lower the cost of insurance for your teenager and save you some money. And then you can still spend money on them. Because just when you think you have a grasp on spending, new sneakers. And then it's money for a school field trip. And of course, spending money. Oh yeah, and a new phone to replace the one they dropped in the toilet. Oh, don't remind me. So just get Progressive's teen driver discount. And then you can continue to spend money on them. Endlessly. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discount not available in all states and subject to terms and conditions.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place. For changes big and small. Loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
They get Brandon Cleveland back in the second half. So
hey, we're coming back now. Tim.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Cory Smith, Pack Pride, as always, on time, punctual, showed up a little early, and we didn't want to wait for the insight. So we're going to bring him on right away here outside Carter Finley Stadium, the location for NC State, opening up their season later tonight against ECU. Our live coverage from outside Carter Finley, presented by Dogwood State Bank. Stronger communities, stronger futures. Proud sponsor of the Pack. Member FDIC. That's Dogwood State Bank. We're also accepting final score predictions on our YouTube live stream, as well as if you want to run up here and just scream them at us, we'll take those. JD, NC State fan, walking by. 38-27 State. And then he did acknowledge there might be a little slow start for State, but he thinks by the end they'll pull away and have it under control. 38-27 from JD. Dennis, do we have any of note in the YouTube live stream?
Quite a few, actually. We mentioned Elton said 28-10 NC State. Thomas says 31-14 NC State. There's a JS76 says 49-0 East Carolina. We have Jeff says 35-21 Pack. DJ Derek Jeter says 35-6 Pack. Thomas also says on his 31-14 NC State prediction that it's State goes up 28-0. They rest the starters. And, ECU gets a couple of touchdowns as well. We have a 41-27.
On the second string there. Backup's going and get bullied.
And one guy says 38-17 ECU. That comes from Pooch.
All right. Cory Smith, Pack Pride, editor over there at Pack Pride, will get his score prediction, which he's put out elsewhere publicly, but we'll get it later on in the conversation. But, Cory, at this time of every Thursday, we play a game called Cons and Cons.
Okay.
It's what are you most confident in? What are you most concerned about? And we put different teams kind of into the machine and kick out what we're most confident, most concerned about. And I thought, well, I can pawn off some of my own responsibilities. And instead of deciding what I'm confident and concerned about NC State, I'll just ask you. So, right, good news, bad news. You always ask for the bad news first. What are you most concerned about for State going into tonight?
The defensive backfield is what I've said most of the offseason. There are some unknown commodities that I feel a little confident in. Cornerback position, Devin Marshall coming back from last year, and then you have Jamel Johnson as a starter over a guy like Brian Nelson that they got in the spring that we thought was going to be the starter, and Jamel Johnson being the starter gives you a little more confidence that he's a guy ready there. But that safety position, that true backfield for you, that safety net that you need. J.J. Johnson came over from Georgia State that they like. But you lose a guy in Terrence Hinton. He's not going to be playing in this game. We don't know how long he's going to be out. And then Ronnie Royal III, a guy that they really like, but he's undersized. He's 5'9" safety, A big hitter, but he's a guy that has never played at this level. He's a redshirt freshman coming in. So if I'm concerned about anything, especially on the defensive side of the football, it's that. The thing I'm confident in.
Yep, that's the next con.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. I'm sorry, I'm jumping over you. I don't know how this all works.
Take it away. I'll turn my mic off.
The thing I'm the most confident in is the offense. The skill position players that they have. A little worried about who's going to step up, but there are a lot of options at wide receiver. The thing I'm the most confident in. As far as receivers concerned, Justin Jolie coming back from next year, I think he's going to take an even bigger step forward. Be a guy that's far down on the Mackey Award watch list later on in the season, and then C.J. Bailey taking that next step. Everything we've heard is that he's been really, really good, and the guy I'm the most confident in when it comes to this offense, as long as he stays healthy throughout the season, is Hollywood Smothers. I think he has a Nyheim Hines 2017 type of impact on this team. He's that type of MVP type player for you. Not only as a running back, but as a receiver out of the backfield, too.
It's interesting you bring him up, and thank you for playing our little concert.
Yeah.
Hey, he mentioned Hollywood Smothers yesterday, by the way.
Well, the thing is, there's really only one person that's downplaying the Hollywood Smothers hype, right? I've talked with Mike Lennon. He's talked about Hollywood Smothers as a potential NFL guy down the road. Yeah. You jump right to Hollywood Smothers. I was a huge fan of Hollywood Smothers. Fans we talked to, big fans of Hollywood Smothers. I brought up Hollywood Smothers to Dave Doeren at ACC Kickoff, and he immediately went, Jaden Duke Scott's a guy we're really excited about. And is that the coach thing where he's just like, I got to keep something close to my vest, and I don't want everyone thinking Hollywood Smothers is going to get 24 touches? Or is there some truth to maybe Jaden Scott as a legit Georgia track star in high school taking some touches?
Yeah, Duke Scott is not only fast, but a bruiser too, and a guy that ran for almost 2,500 yards. Ran for 2,500 yards as a senior, not total yards and 39
kick
touchdowns.
Returns, punt returns, we're combining it all.
Yeah, he's going to be kick returner for NC State as the opener in this one. So I do agree that he's going to be that kind of impact guy, but. Everything I heard going back to the spring, people talking about the potential impact of Hollywood Smothers this season and saying, NFL guy all the way based off of what they saw in the spring.
We're talking with Cory Smith here outside Carter Finley Stadium, editor at Pack Pride. Follow him on Twitter, x.com at @RCorySmith.
There's one guy you didn't mention, and I'm curious to see if he takes a major leap this year because I know there's a lot of hype for him when he transferred in last year. It's Noah Rogers, the local kid here. He's certainly, obviously, the depth chart listed, he was listed as a starter, but he was such a highly touted recruit as a 5-star going to Ohio State, comes back here, to the Triangle, being back close to home. It felt like last year he never really fully got going. I don't know if that was just the play calling because it felt like they were force feeding Casey Concepcion the ball so much last year. But it feels like if C.J. Bailey can have a guy on the outside, obviously there's Wesley Grimes, so it feels like Noah Rogers almost has to be that guy.
Yeah, Noah Rogers, the talent is 100% there.
It's absolutely there. I saw him play in high school.
Yeah, exactly. And he's always been the best receiver wherever he's gone. That's the thing, is he's always been the guy, went to Ohio State, learned under some guys that are now number one wide receivers at the NFL level, and comes back home to NC State, and it was almost a given to him again. It was like, hey, you're going to be one of our outside receivers. You're going to be a starter. And I just don't think it hasn't been earned necessarily for him yet. I think is the big question mark is, can he go in there and earn it on an every snap basis? That's something that the NC State coaching staff has wanted to see this offseason. He's been talented. He's made big time catches. You think back to the UNC game last year. He was also, I believe, top 3 receiver overall for NC State last year in terms of receiving yards. So it's not to say that he hasn't proven it to this point, but if you're going to be a number one guy, you're going to be a top 50 guy, you're going to be that elite number one wide receiver, you have to go out there and prove it. And right now he's listed on the NC State depth chart that was just released at 2:00 for the first time as an OR with Terrell Anderson, another top 100 receiver that came in NC State last year, and he's now earning his place as an outside receiver. So there's a lot to still be earned for Noah Rogers at this point before you can just say, he's 100% the guy.
So the 3 guys we focused on, Smothers, Jolie, Noah Rogers. You bring up Terrell Anderson, another guy that came into the program last year as a freshman. Was the hype last offseason wrong about the offense, or was it 1 year early? Because all of these, including Grayson McCall and Zeke Carell, a few other guys, the incomers, the newcomers, transfers and freshmen last year were so hyped up, and it almost never really connected. Now we're going into the next season, and it's a lot of the same guys that we're excited about.
Yeah.
Like, was it we were just early with our hype, and now that's like, to use a fantasy football term, post-hype sleepers? Like, now everybody's sleeping on them when they shouldn't?
Yeah, some of that, but also, the Grayson McCall injury certainly changed a lot of things, and the expectations for Grayson McCall coming into the season. He was taking all the number one snaps. So when you throw a guy in there that has chemistry with some of these guys, but doesn't have that level of chemistry, hasn't worked with them for a long time, I just think that was a major part of the issue last year. Was C.J. Bailey got better as the year went on, and you really saw it in the last few games that the offense did get better. But some of it had to come with the play calling too, where, as much as they tried to force feed Casey Concepcion, like you said earlier, yes, that was, you're trying too hard to make something happen. Like, they're trying to make fetch happen, and it just didn't. So when I go back to last, when I go back to last year, that was a major factor, but also the fact that, a lot of those guys were a year early. They were all guys that needed to kind of, grow that chemistry together, and they just didn't have it. And as you saw the back half of last season, and I think going into this season, there will be a lot more of that going into this year.
What does success look like for Bailey? What does he need to be, heck yeah, C.J. Bailey at the end of tonight and then also at the end of the season?
I think 3,000 plus yards for him on the season overall. I think continuing to be a 60+% passer. I think using his legs when he needs to. But, when it comes to those marks and things like that, I think it's going to come with the success. He just has to be a successful quarterback. Because as I mentioned, there are so many weapons around him that are already proven. Justin Jolie, Hollywood Smothers behind him. I think Duke Scott, Noah Rogers, those guys, as they emerge, they become better. It makes this offense that much better. But for C.J. Bailey, I know the word game manager is used too often, and it's a negative thing. But if he's a game manager in this offense and really feeds all those weapons around him, he has a chance to be a 3,000 to 3,500 yard passer, pass for over 25 touchdowns, do all the things that you want to do as a successful quarterback.
I've been petitioning this one. I've been auditioning it. High executioner instead of game. Like, it means game manager, but in the positive sense.
Yes.
Just like a high, because game manager, it comes with a stigma now, and I'm always like, I want another word for it that doesn't make you think I'm insulting him. So I'm auditioning high execution.
I always say this: every great quarterback knows how to manage the game.
Yeah,
exactly. Like, that's part of being a great quarterback is managing the game.
Yeah.
We're talking with Cory Smith, Pack Pride, here outside Carter Finley Stadium ahead of NC State-ECU. Cory, be honest, are you going to miss the 3-3-5?
No. Not really.
I love the honesty.
I love Tony Gibson. I love what he brought to NC State and getting to cover that. And also, getting the chance to see, like, hey, this is, it worked for 3 years. Also because you had one of the best linebacking cores that NC State has ever seen as a whole. But when you look at what NC State was able to do, that's because of Peyton Wilson. That's because of, Isaiah Moore, who's on the staff right now. But I think there's still going to be some of those base concepts. There's still going to be a little bit of that 3-3-5 this year because of the fact that they did recruit for that for several years. Now, they've gone out and put a major focus on going to get as many edge rushers as you possibly can. Kean Sloan, Trey Thomas, Sebastian Harsh is kind of in that mix. He's a defensive end, but he'll be a stand-up defensive end at times for this team. There's a lot of guys they went out and added, but are they able to make that true switch now to be a 4-2-5 or to be a go to a 4-3 defense? We'll see. As the games progress.
And then on the other side, what differences or what changes do you expect from Kurt Roper, who obviously want to keep certain things consistent for guys like C.J. Bailey, but you also made a change at offensive coordinator for a reason, so you don't want to run it back the same. What does Roper bring to the table that I didn't?
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't think it's any there's no guessing game about this. The fact that they didn't have exactly the most high tempo offense over the past 2 years. That is the expectation going into this year, is to at least increase the tempo, not be outside of the top 100 when it comes to tempo would be great. And they were literally
not asking for the moon and the stars.
Yeah, exactly. You're fifth from last year in terms of tempo, and the previous year it made sense, but they do expect to be a little bit faster tempo offense. They want to be at least at the top half this year and then try to get even further next year. But this is a team that they're simplifying things. You're doing more of the Tim Beck kind of, and I know some people are going to think negatively of that, but the Tim Beck plays off of plays type of idea. It's not, all right, we're going to throw a bunch of different plays out there and make it work. It's, all right, I'm going to throw from the same arm slot as a pitcher, and it might look like a fastball, but then sometimes it's going to come in, there's a curveball, then it's going to come in, there's a slider. That's what you're looking for, is the same kind of base concepts, and then running so many different things off of those is what they're trying to do this year. And I think that works for CJ Bailey. That works for a lot of these newer guys that are trying to get into the system too.
I'm kind of impressed we've talked this long without going down this path. You've been around the team, obviously, all off season. You've been covering the squad. How much does the bowl game and everything else, that the extracurriculars, is the chippiness, the fights, how much does that hang over this one, and kind of maybe put an emphasis on how this one starts?
Well, I mean, first of all, the fact that you have two guys out for NC State, Brandon Cleveland was, there's no bones about it. He is the best defensive player for NC State going into the season, expected to be. And then you have, another guy that you're expecting to be kind of a reserve offensive guard that's out. But yeah, there's a little bit that still lingers there. Everybody obviously puts it down, but you heard from Dave Doeren that his comments back at ACC kickoff. I can't say it here because it's a family show, but he did bring that up.
Beat the bleep out of him.
Yes, exactly.
Oh yeah.
So he's talked about it in the past. I don't think it necessarily had to do with just the Military Bowl. There's some fed upness in this rivalry where he talked about after that I think it was the 2018 or 2019 game, being able to break that off because he went to the grocery store and he saw ECU fans that would still bring it up to him because they don't face each other every year. So it's not like, oh, you win the next year and you wipe it away. It's, oh, we might not see each other for 3 more years, and they're not going to shut up about this. So there is all that goes into it too.
I know we got to let you go here in a moment, but I thought it wasn't a rival. Didn't Dave say that?
No, it's an in-state rivalry.
I know.
It's not
I'm
the
going on what
rivalry.
Dave said, yeah.
It's not the rivalry,
Yeah.
but it is something.
I 100% agree. It's a rivalry.
Yeah, and I will say this: it is one of those ones where NC State will win it and probably won't bring it up to ECU fans for a little while. ECU fans win this, you're never gonna stop hearing about it.
Nor should they do that, nor should they not let NC State fans hear. You know what I'm saying?
And also, it's a great rivalry line to say it's not a rivalry.
Yeah,
that's excellent play within a rivalry. You don't say that to non-rivals.
We've heard Carolina fans and Carolina people say that to NC State before.
Yes,
it's
out there.
It's actually a little overdone. It's actually a little overdone, if we're being honest.
Yeah, and that's what NC State fans try to avoid. They try not to be that, it's very similar fan bases. I will say that, and you see this out here, and they get along, but it's when the game starts, it's all right. I'm going to give you crap all game long.
All right, we've taken up too much of your time already, but we'll hit your latest child that you're trying to birth to the world.
Well, I'd love for people to get on our YouTube and start watching Coffee with Cory. We do it every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So there is that new segment that we've added. We're trying to see if there's going to be enough content to do it every single morning, but there should be, as you guys do it every single day, just pertaining to NC State. But obviously, I want people to always go to packpride.com to visit us there. We are offering 75% off right now. So if you do jump on, you're just paying, for 3 months and you get an entire year. So
what's the final score?
My final score prediction is 38-27. I think NC State wins it. Similar to what JD was saying earlier when he was over here, the fact that NC State, it keeps it close in the first half, both teams trying to figure each other out, but I think the depth ultimately pushes NC State over the top near the end of the game.
38-27. One more follow-up. I lied. I've got one more. That's not covering the spread. Is that enough?
That's not no. It's not covering the spread, but I think it's enough for NC State fans to walk away with a comfortable win, especially after what happened to Western Carolina last year, especially after what happened in the Military Bowl last year, and what happened back in 2020.
We appreciate you as always. Enjoy game day.
Yes,
college
sir,
football
appreciate it.
season. Let's go. That is Cory Smith, Pack Pride. Once again, you can follow him on Twitter at @RCorySmith. Spells Cory without the C-O-R-Y, just in case you need that one locked. Enjoy game day.
Yes,
season. Let's. All right. Once again, I'm getting some crazy feedback. All right.
Looks like we lost signal with the guys for now. We'll work on getting them back over the break here. We'll come back here live after and continue to get you prepped for NC State versus ECU tonight at Carter Finley Stadium. Don't go anywhere.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Jackson Dart is ready for prime time. Jackson Dart gives the Giants the best chance to win games. Jackson Dart gives Brian Daboll and Joe Shane the best chance to say their damn job. I am on board with Mike Tannenbaum, everything that he says. So Jackson Dart needs to be the quarterback moving forward. QB1, week 1.
Unsportsmanlike. Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
This fall, the Sandman, Adam Sandler, You're My Best Friend Tour.
I feel like we're very good friends now.
Lenovo Center Raleigh, September 11th. Get tickets now at livenation.com.
Welcome to Take 5 Oil Change.
Thanks. Got my seat cushion, crossword puzzle, and oh, can't forget the hand sanitizer. Okay, show me the waiting room.
No need for all that. You can stay in your car.
I'll stay in my car? Get out.
Yep, you stay in. It'll just be 10 minutes.
10 minutes? Get out.
Go ahead, sit back and relax.
Well, I guess I'll save all this for the DMV. If only they took 10 minutes, am I right? I'm sorry.
Take 5. The stay in your car 10-minute oil change.
At Howard Hanna Allen Tate Real Estate, they're not just about buying and selling homes. They strengthen local communities. To date, Howard Hanna Allen Tate has contributed more than $27 million to public education, children's health care, and dozens of other initiatives that improve the quality of life in the neighborhoods where their agents live, work, and play. Because strong communities create lasting value for everyone. If you're looking for a real estate company that believes in meaningful impact, visit howardhannatate.com and let them show you how they're built differently.
Hey, folks, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. Folks, if you have struggled with your weight like I have over the last few years, you definitely need to listen to this. I can proudly say that I have lost over 25 pounds in the last 4 weeks thanks to Raleigh Weight Loss Center. That's real talk. Over 25 pounds in 4 weeks thanks to Raleigh Weight Loss Center. It's not just the weight that's come off. My body fat percentage has dropped. I'm sleeping better at night. My resting heart rate is the best it's been since I was back in college. That's how good things have gotten thanks to the weight I've lost, thanks to Raleigh Weight Loss Center. And you can also be part of that as well. No shots, no injections, no side effects, just your body resetting its metabolism and doing the natural thing. And Raleigh Weight Loss Center right now is having a huge end of summer offering, up to 20% off now through August 29th with the lowest prices of the year on the amazing Raleigh Weight Loss program. Schedule your free consultation by calling 919-897-7506. That's 919-897-7506 or online at RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Results may vary.
This fall, the Sandman, Adam Sandler, You're My Best Friend Tour.
I feel like we're very good friends now.
Lenovo Center Raleigh, September 11th. Get tickets now at livenation.com.
Hey, Dennis Cox here with my friends over at Loan Pronto. Folks, are you trapped in a high-rate mortgage? Are you watching your hard-earned money vanish every month? Stop. Right now at Loan Pronto, they are delivering the lowest mortgage rates in 3 years. Loan Pronto's rate reduction home loan program is a streamlined, low-cost way to slash your house payments by hundreds of dollars a month. Lock in a fixed rate as low as 4.99% APR and close in as little as 2 weeks. No appraisal needed in most cases. And here's the kicker. You can skip your next 2 house payments entirely. Don't wait. Rates this low won't last. Call Loan Pronto now for your free, no obligation quote. Loan Pronto, it's amazing. Imagine this. Lower payments, more money in your pocket, and a fresh start with a better mortgage. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com to lock in your new low rate and skip those next 2 payments. Don't let high rates hold you back. Call 919-381-1760 or go to loanpronto.com right now. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Live outside Carter Finley Stadium, and our broadcast being live outside Carter Finley Stadium, where we're so in to the college football atmosphere that the state band just walked by.
Yeah, I know.
I love college football so much. And
me too.
The band is such like a, music or smells like are triggered to memories, and they put you right back. Like when the band goes by, Oh, yeah. College football season, baby.
Just the atmosphere of college sports as a whole is just awesome.
We have cornhole boards set out right in front of us. People are playing. You have do you know what I love underrated about college football?
What's that?
I love your college football fans. College football friends. Like the people who just happen to have a parking spot near you in your tailgates, and you literally see them like 7 or 8 times a year for just the home games.
Yeah.
But you're pretty sure, like, if you called upon them to hide a body, they'd be like, "Yep, we're diehards here, right? We don't have to see each other often, but you're, I don't even know your name. You're parking spot 141. We're parking spot 147, and we're best friends for 8 days a year. College football brings people together, man. Our broadcast, being able to take in this live atmosphere, is brought to you by Dogwood State Bank. Stronger communities, stronger futures. Dogwood State Bank, proud sponsor of the pack, member FDIC.
I always say, if you want to make friends at a tailgate, if you let's say you don't have an opportunity to bring your own grill and those kinds of things, if you want to make friends at a tailgate, if you see someone with a big grill and stuff, bring a pack of hot dogs. Bring hot dog buns, bring a couple condiments, whatever it might be, and a case of beer. And be like, hey, do you mind if we throw this on the grill with you guys? Feel free to have some. We also brought beer. You'll make friends instantly. Instantly you'll make friends.
And also wear the right colors.
Of course.
And know what to yell. Good go pack around here.
Yeah.
You'll make friends real quickly. Nice. Do the Wolfpack hand signal, and you'll make friends real quickly.
Or if you're an ECU fan, which we've seen plenty of purple and gold around here, if you go to an ECU tailgate, same type deal. Hey, I brought hot dogs. Do you mind if I throw them on the grill for you guys? Does need a place to cook them? Sure. And also, you can have some too. And I brought beer. Friends, instantly.
I brought beer makes a lot of friends.
It does. It absolutely does.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. You can also make friends in our YouTube live stream comments, which is where we head for a little feedback frenzy.
You can also make enemies there too, by the way.
No, I disagree. You can debate ferociously with friends. It's my favorite part about sports. You can argue, you can yell, you're wrong for all these reasons, and then still be friends after. There's a lot of things in life you can't argue like that and still be friends after. In some arguments, you get in arguments about that particular topic and you never speak again. Sports, you can still be friends. That's why I like it. So if I disagree with you, we go at it on Twitter. Just know you're still my friend in my book, as long as you don't cross the line, and you know where that line is.
That's fair. Well, we're taking score predictions, by the way. If you see us, come up to us, give us score predictions for today as well. So I'm going to give you a bunch of score predictions here, Tim. Trey says 35-17 NC State. David Jones says 41-27 NC State. We also have as well a Alex Oxendine. Says ECU by 90. ECU by 90 today. Hankinator, the Hankinator says 55-24 NC State. We also have Tom says 45-34 NC State over ECU. So some high-scoring games as well. And also we have a stat line prediction for CJ Bailey.
Let's see what it is.
DJ Derek Jeter says CJ goes for 300 yards, 3 touchdowns tonight.
I'll say this: if CJ Bailey goes for 303 tugs, I think then that's intentional.
Yeah.
Right. I think that means that the team, the coaching staff, went into the game with let's announce CJ's presence here real quick. Let's make everybody that was it CBS that put him 15th out of 17 quarterbacks in the ACC?
USA Today.
USA Today. That might be who it was. Sorry to CBS. Apologize.
Yeah.
Let's go announce his arrival, which by the way sometimes coaches do. Right. Like, hey, we want this team to be confident in our quarterback. If we have the chance to pad a stat line, let's do it, right? That's when you see on the 1 yard line instead of a jumbo formation with extra tight ends and fullbacks, you have, all right, let's run a little play action roll out pass. So he gets the touchdown pass. If he ends up with 303 tugs, I think that means Dave Doeren recognized this is CJ Bailey's team, and we need everybody to know it week 1.
Yeah.
Which is, by the way, I got nothing wrong with that. What else is going on in there in the feedback frenzy?
So earlier we had a conversation about what does NC State need to do tonight in order to at least give NC State fans confidence for this upcoming season. or does a result of some kind actually put even more pressure and more heat on Dave Doeren as a head coach? This one's an interesting perspective. Word Up says, if NC State loses to ECU tonight, it would probably make most fans happy. I guess implying that most fans actually want to move on from Dave Doeren.
It's an interesting thought exercise, right? Of would you root against your team if it propelled what you felt was the inevitable?
Yeah.
If you think Dave Doeren is what he has been, right? Peaking at 9 wins, never getting 10, occasional below 500 record, and you don't think that's good enough for State, you probably don't want to ride that roller coaster one more time where he goes 8-9 wins for a couple years in a row and then drops back down and keeps perpetually doing that, which has kind of been his tenure over the last, over a decade with NC State. Would you take like almost a bottoming out year just to cut your losses and move on? It's an interesting thought process. I think a lot of State fans do believe there is some higher level for Dave Doeren, and it's just a matter of if he can put it all together. Is this the team that connects with his message fully, finally, and they get over that hump? And it's really just a wait-and-see moment there.
Everett says Diamond Dave and the Wolfpack will lose 27-10 to the mighty Pirates. Dave will be ran out of Raleigh by his skull-loving fan base.
Obviously an ECU fan.
Yeah.
There's probably some rebuttals that State fans are saying in their car right now, back to you. But we're not going to get in the middle of that. What I would say is Dave Doeren has really turned in his best coaching jobs when it feels like backs against the wall scenarios.
I thought 2 years ago, though, Brennan Armstrong,
MJ Morris. I agree. Like when it gets down to like, hey man, one more loss, we're going to have some serious conversations. He reels off 5 straight wins.
Yeah.
Like and maybe that's a flaw, right? Like he's got to taste his own blood before he really gets into it. You got a score prediction? ECU by 7. You're wearing an NC State shirt. Okay, little reverse jinx.
Okay, all right.
We got RJ over here, Richard Jefferson, going with the reverse jinx. He said ECU by 7 in a extra medium NC State shirt as he was walking away. Going back to what I was saying, though, a loss against ECU, which that fan predicted, but I don't think any State fans would be okay with, would maybe get the best out of Dave Doeren, because that immediately puts his back all the way against the wall, and you got to fight, for your metaphorical life there. So we'll see. What else we got in the comment section for a little feedback frenzy?
So on the same lines of the conversation we had about, again, what does State need to do tonight in order to kind of rest any doubts, possibly, at least early on in the season. This one comes from Brent. Brent Moore says, if they beat East Carolina by 3+ touchdowns.
That's what he needs to feel good?
Yeah, they say 3+ touchdowns. He wants that blowout win.
By the way, I think that is more in line with the fan base at large.
Yeah.
I think they want, like I said, they don't just want to beat ECU, they want their revenge, right? They don't just want to beat ECU, they want to embarrass them because of the way they felt after the bowl game. State fans likely were embarrassed. You lost a game to a team you didn't think you should lose to, and then you made a less than favorable impression with the fighting and everything else, coming off of fighting in the rivalry game. So there's more going on there than I think. Like we talked with Cory Smith. Cory Smith, somebody that's super embedded, covers the team exceptionally well and thoroughly. But also, he said 11 was enough. I don't think many fans would agree with an 11-point win being something that they're going to walk away like heck yeah. They might walk away with okay, but they're not walking away with heck yeah unless they get their full and total revenge on ECU.
All right, so we're going to stick here with college sports since obviously it's college football. The season really kicks off here in the state of North Carolina.
Let's go. I love college football. I'm just going to say that randomly throughout the show.
So we had a conversation yesterday about you and I giving win-loss prediction totals for both NC State, Duke, and Carolina this upcoming season.
Yep.
And you said, I believe,
75
for NC State.
Correct.
And 8-4 for UNC.
Correct.
9-3 for Duke.
Correct.
I said 9-3 Duke, 8-4 NC State, 7-5 for Carolina. So you and I, again, both 9 wins on Carolina. This actually comes from PJ Tarheel, this might lead into the comment here a little bit. Too many people out there are too high on Duke this year, I think. And Duke spelled with a double O and a K.
By the way, I went back and forth with some people on Twitter that said the same thing. I'm high on Duke, but I know there are factual reasons to point to, right? None the least of which is they paid $4 million for a quarterback. They're committed to the success of Darian Mensah, and they believe in the success of Darian Mensah, but also the returning players. Multiple All-Americans on different preseason lists. A coach whose scheme on defense I trust wholeheartedly, Manny Diaz. Pretty much everywhere along the way that he's been coaching in college, the defense has been strong. Now, he's had some head coaching flaws during his time at Miami, so if you were to tell me you're worried about that at Duke, okay. But I trust the defense. I trust the offensive line. That right there is a lot in college football, just those two things. Then you throw in a $4 million quarterback. I'm high on Duke, but I feel like there's reason to be.
All right,
they have an easier schedule than NC State. That's a side note.
All right, this one actually here comes from the Nothing Man. Timmy D, that's you, is on the record for a 9-3 UNC season, even though you did say 8-4. But also you said Bill Belichick is Coach of the Year. Nothing Man says, we won't let him forget that mistake, referring to you, Tim.
All right.
Not going to let you forget it.
Good.
By the way, this is the reason why we also put it on record out there. Receipts. Nothing Man also says, by the way, neither of these guys, referring to you and I, did any research on Wake this year, which had a favorable portal experience and a favorable schedule. Not a complete cupcake schedule like UNC, but definitely favorable. UNC's 2026 schedule looks like 4-8. So Belichick most definitely will be gone after 2026.
First of all, big fan of Jake Dickert, the new coach of Wake Forest.
Yeah.
I have called their backfield maybe the fastest backfield in the country. Robbie Ashford and Damon Claiborne. That's a lot of differences. That's a lot of changeover, as happens with new coaches. No, we don't pick Wake. We don't put Wake Forest in as many of our segments as the teams that are in the triangle because we're in the triangle. However, I like what Wake Forest has going on. I don't think it's going to really hit this year as aggressively as maybe that listener believes. But I do also find the irony. I find the irony that he's telling us, "Oh, you didn't do any research on Wake." By the way, UNC's 2026 schedule looks like a 4-win season.
Yeah.
So you did a lot of research on the players in the transfer portal that are in and out of every team in 2026. No.
Yeah.
I would put Wake Forest at the bottom of the four teams in the state of North Carolina in the ACC. But, if you're going to force me to say that, go ahead. And also, I gave a whole speech before we made our predictions. The reason we do it is so if I am wildly wrong, you can bring it up and say you were wildly wrong about it.
Yeah.
Don't threaten me with it. That's why we do it. Yeah. But also, if I'm right, you might hear about that too.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's both sides of it. So, there's things like I've predicted the NFL MVP on air with receipts 3 of the last 4 years. I can say that. I can also say that I picked the Packers to be in the Super Bowl last year. Didn't work out, right? Like I have the receipts, and there's no arguing, there's no bending the truth. So yeah, bring up my predictions at the end of the year. We'll also bring up yours. So tell us what you think the records are going to be.
All right, final one here. We have another score prediction for tonight. Reggie Marsh says ECU will win again tonight. Gives a score 23-16. NC State will turn the ball over just like they did in the bowl game. ECU has their number.
You know what? You won the bowl game. You get to talk the trash.
That's true.
I don't think that's the way it's going to play out, but you have every right to say it. If there's a concern for ECU, a main concern, I think it would be their offense holding onto the ball as well.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do the super lazy thing, which is say whoever wins the turnover battle wins the game, because that's true in darn near every game at every level of football. But ECU had a tendency to give the ball to the other team last year as well. So, before you throw rocks at somebody else's turnover glass house, maybe make sure your glass house isn't fully exposed for them to throw rocks back at.
Yeah, get that tempered glass.
Get that reinforced, bulletproof. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Thank you to everybody that participates with us on YouTube and in every other social media. 99.9 The Fan is our handle on most social medias. 99.9 The Fan. Search for us on YouTube. Subscribe. Ton of content there. And as you just heard throughout the show, we literally interact with you. So if you want to have your opinion heard on the show, 99.9 The Fan YouTube. Search for it. Subscribe. We have the starting five coming up next from live outside Carter Finley. Don't go anywhere.
The Adam Gold Show.
We're going to find out if strength of schedule really matters in college football based on what Penn State and some of the other national contenders in that league are doing or not doing. And then you look at what Miami is doing, what Clemson is doing, as the ACC, really to their own detriment, always seems to play too difficult of a non-conference schedule. Now you got to go win them.
The Adam Gold Show, weekdays starting at noon on 99.9 The Fan.
Listen up, football fans.
It's bow time. Something new just dropped at Bojangles. Take the bold taste of a crispy golden chicken supreme that's been seasoned to perfection, then add dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, and a toasted bun that's great on the go. What do you get? You get a Bo's Bird Dog. In fact, you can grab 2 of them for $5. So when you're on the go, headed to practice, or need a snack, grab a Bo's Bird Dog. Hurry in before they're gone. Available for a limited time. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time, but sometimes it's go time. No time to stop, but the perfect time for a Bojangles Bird Dog. A seasoned to perfection Bojangles Chicken Supremes, dill pickles, and Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, all tucked inside a toasted bun. Great on the go. Try 2 bird dogs for just $5 or 2 bird dog combo for just $8.25. Available for limited time only. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm WRAL meteorologist Mike Mays. We'll see clearing skies overnight, comfortably cool again, 60 the low. Cooler at rural locations will be in the 50s once again. Tomorrow is partly to mostly sunny. It's warmer ahead of the next cold front, the high 86.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money at the closing bell. Dow Jones up 71 points to 45,636.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting 5.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Let's jump right into the starting 5. And we got some breaking news for number 5.
Oh, okay.
So this will act as number 5 for the starting 5, brought to you by Ritchie Law Firm, Injury Lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to ritchielaw.com, RICCI law.com. Tom Pelissero, NFL Network.
Yeah?
The Cowboys are trading Micah Parsons.
What?
To the Packers.
No way.
Who will sign him to a 4-year, $188 million extension.
Yo.
With $136 million guaranteed.
Wow.
Sources tell Pelissero, Rappaport, and Slater over at Jane Slater, that is, over at NFL Network. Parsons gets $47 million per year.
Dang.
On the deal by David Mulugeta and Andre Odom of Athletes First.
That shatters the $41 million by TJ Watt that he signed just a few weeks ago.
I do not say this lightly. He just got quarterback money. He just got quarterback money as a defensive player. If this was the deal he's looking at, and by the way, this is our first reaction to it. This was literally tweeted 2 minutes ago.
Wow. Micah Parsons is going to the Packers, who, by the way, the Carolina Panthers have to travel to the Packers this year.
We don't know what the compensation is.
Okay.
We don't know what the return is as we try to look for it. The Cowboys are expected, this according to Pelissero, are expected to receive a huge trade package in exchange for Micah Parsons, ending an off-season long drama exactly 1 week before their opener against the Super Bowl champion.
That's wild.
That is so much money. If this was what it was going to take to sign him, my gut reaction here, and I reserve the right to change it, I kind of get why Jerry Jones was being such a stickler.
Yeah.
If you needed $47 million a year, if you need to be the highest paid defensive player by over, $7 million a year, I kind of get it. And if he got a truly ridiculous trade package in return, watch the heck out. Goodness gracious.
So one of our coworkers is named Ryland, who works in our promotions department. He's actually, because we are outside of Carter Finley Stadium in the Lenovo Center. Big thanks to our good friends over at Dogwood State Bank. Stronger communities, stronger futures. Dogwood State Bank, proud sponsor of the PAC, member FDIC. Ryland helped set up our tent and everything that we have here in order to do this remote broadcast today. He's a massive Packers fan. So I made sure to message him like, hey, you got Micah Parsons. Apparently he's screaming and jumping up and down in excitement. I really am curious what is going to go back to Green Bay.
Before I jump up and
Green
down,
Bay.
I would wait and say, what did it cost?
I mean,
is this every first-round pick for the rest of my life? Is this the next Herschel Walker trade?
Was it Rashawn Gary? Does he go back?
Rashawn Gary doesn't.
But I'm sure they want a player.
Picks.
Yeah, but they probably want a player in return.
I'm seriously asking myself this.
That's wild.
If this was the deal that Micah Parsons needed and he wouldn't budge for $1 less, do we owe Jerry an apology?
I don't know. But man, I bet Dallas fans are fuming right now. But if they have a Green Bay Packer fan, that's awesome.
I don't know, because I don't want to pay a defensive player that much. I don't care. And I love Micah. You've heard me. Dennis and I sat here for 20 minutes before the show started talking about all of the things that I would do and Dennis would do if we were defensive coordinators and we had Micah Parsons on the defense, and all the different ways we could use him and all the different things he would do. So I'm a huge Micah Parsons. That number is gargantuan. There are good quarterbacks. I don't know if I would pay $47 million a year to.
And to think that the Cowboys open their season a week from today against the Philadelphia Eagles.
A week from today?
Yeah.
So if you're just tuning in and you missed it, or you heard it once when I read it originally and you need me to say it again, what's going on here? What's going on here?
Oh, just say it. September 28th, the Cowboys play host on Sunday Night Football to the Green Bay Packers on September 28th. Yes!
It's already on Sunday Night Football. The NFL knew.
They knew. They knew. It's scripted.
Again, if you just need to hear it again in order to let it sink in.
Yes.
Tom Pelissero, the NFL Network, tweeted out less than 5 minutes ago. The Cowboys are trading Micah Parsons to the Packers, who will sign him to a 4-year, $188 million extension with $136 million guaranteed. Sources tell Pelissero, Ian Rappaport, and Jane Slater of the NFL Network. That is $47 million a year.
That is insane.
Okay, so let's break this down quickly here because we're outside Carter Finley Stadium. We want to talk college football.
Oh, we're going to talk a ton, but this is
we got to react to this for a second. For the Cowboys, this is maybe the reset they need. Who's Matt Schneidman?
Matt Schneidman, Green Bay Packers beat writer for The Athletic.
Matt Schneidman, Green Bay Packers beat writer for The Athletic, says the Packers are trading at least 2 first-rounders to the Cowboys.
Yep.
Yeah. At least that. Yes, at least. I would. We need to know what the at least is. That at least like double, or at least like a little more?
Yeah, at least and then some.
All right, from both sides. For the Cowboys, I think this might be a reset they need in that they overpaid for a bunch of guys and they needed young players and draft picks to be able to fill out their roster the next few years. Dak's not getting any cheaper. CeeDee's not getting any cheaper. Trayvon Diggs' deal looks rough. Terrence Steele's deal looks rough. Yowzers. If you're the Green Bay Packers, I mean, this is the all-in move. The Packers are notorious for drafting players, developing players, and not looking to free agency or trades to improve their stock, right? They are notorious homegrown builders. And partially, I always believe it's because they don't have a traditional owner. They're owned by the community, right? They have shareholders, they have a CEO or a president, whatever you want to call it. But I always thought that meant they didn't have the impatient billionaire going, win now. So they very rarely made moves like this one. They very rarely went all in because they didn't have their David Tepper or their Jerry Jones looking at their GM saying, make a splash, I want to win this one. So it is fascinating that they just made this kind of all-in move. Micah Parsons, a Packer.
That's wild.
$47 million. I'm going to say that over and over again until it registers.
Oh, man. I cannot wait to see her again. Ryland, one of our promotions people again. All right, so that's the big NFL news. Let's
hold on. One more thing. I just want to do a quick comparison. Jordan Love, their quarterback, who got a gigantic deal, makes on average, let's see here, $55 million a year. So 2 players are making over $100 million a year.
Would you send Bryce Young to $47 million a year right now?
No.
Exactly.
There's a lot of, like I said, no disrespect to Bryce Young. I don't mean this to say he's not.
Yeah.
There are like legit good quarterbacks I wouldn't pay $47 million a year. like franchise, I wouldn't pay $47 million.
Luckily, it's not your money.
Darn right it's not my money. It's all Micah Parsons' money.
Exactly. It's all Micah Parsons' money right now.
Goodness gracious.
Hey, you know what? Good for Micah. He got what he wanted. The guy got what he wanted. That's fine. He wanted to change the scenery. He got his money. Good for him.
That's number 5. Let's get to number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, all together.
Well, at least the Adam Thielen trade got to be the news in the NFL for 24 hours, only to be one-upped by whatever that trade is with Micah Parsons. Goodness. Adam Thielen, yesterday we broke it down a bunch of different ways. Traded from the Panthers to the Minnesota Vikings. Today, Dan Morgan, GM of the Panthers, spoke to the media, and here he explains that he's comfortable trading Adam Thielen based on what else they have on the roster.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you lose a receiver like Adam, it's a big loss. But at the same time, we're really excited about our young core of receivers. Jalen Coker is going to step into the slot. We spent a lot, utilized a lot of resources with XL, T-Mac. We have guys that we're really excited about. And I think that definitely made me feel more comfortable pulling the trigger and trading him.
Of course. I mean, action said that, right? If you trade Adam Thielen, the action of doing so says you feel confident in the players that are backing him up that will be taking those reps, and that's Jalen Coker. Yeah. That's Xavier Legette. That's whoever you have on the roster. So I am not surprised in the least bit. Not surprised in the least bit that he's going to say we're confident in the players behind Adam Thielen. That's why we were comfortable trading him, or else they wouldn't have traded Adam Thielen. Jalen Coker should feel as if this is a move where the team is absolutely engulfing him in confidence, which is nice for a player that was undrafted, basically. Or this time last year was about to be waived or just waived, right? Because he was, I believe, on the immediate 53-man roster, then waived, then brought back on the practice squad. So, there's some good things if you're a fan of Jalen Coker going on with Dan Morgan. Also, Dan Morgan spoke about Hunter Renfrow. I know many of you care about Hunter Renfrow's potential of rejoining the Panthers now that Adam Thielen has been traded. And Dan Morgan said he's been in communication with Renfrow and his agent.
Yeah, I was even texting with him last night. I told him I want him back here. I talked to his agent. I talked to him. We're in constant communication. Nothing's imminent. But we're going to stay in contact with him, and we'll try to figure something out to bring him back here.
That is pretty darn straightforward. The ball is in Hunter Renfrow's court. So for first of all, everybody that blamed the Panthers for cutting Hunter Renfrow and not having him here, I think you got to take some of that back, because it's very obvious the Panthers want him back, right? Might be on the practice squad, but he hasn't played football in a year. You might have to wait your turn before you get a chance on the active roster. If Hunter Renfrow wants a place in the NFL, close to home, the Panthers' door is open. He just has to decide if he wants to walk through it. And guess what? He's earned the right to take his time. He's financially set for the rest of his life. And we'll see how it goes. But again, like I said, on 53-man cutdown day, like I said the following day, and like I'll echo again today, the door is not closed on that one. And last clip we'll play from Dan Morgan's media availability, again, Panthers GM. He asked what he wants to see from Bryce this season, which is obviously, when you trade away Adam Thielen, everyone's question is, how does that impact Bryce Young? This is what Dan Morgan had to say.
I would say just continue ascending as a leader, continue to develop the chemistry with the wideouts. It takes time to develop chemistry with wideouts and understand the way they move, the way they come out of their breaks. Where some guys attack the ball better downfield, some guys are better when you put it in different spots. So I think the sooner that he figures that out and who's out on the field and just gets that feel, the better off he's going to be. And they're already making big strides out on the practice field. And again, I've full confidence that, the chemistry will come along pretty quick.
This is, I think, an underrated part of the Adam Thielen trade. Everything he just said about building chemistry with Tedero McMillan, Xavier Legette, blah, 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 on and on, gets accelerated because Adam Thielen is not there. Adam Thielen was a wide receiver with the ones, right? He was a starting wide receiver with the Panthers, which means when you're going through routes on air, when you're going through 7-on-7, when you're going through whatever drill, 11-on-11, practice, games, all of it, he was taking reps with Bryce Young. And every rep he took with Adam Thielen was a rep that wasn't going to one of the guys that Dan Morgan wants him to build chemistry with. Now, 100% of those reps will go with the young guys that you hope will be the passing core, the core of your passing offense for the next 10 years alongside Bryce Young if you handle contracts correctly. So there's, I think Adam Thielen being there, I will admit, I think would have raised the floor of the offense, particularly in the early part of the season. I think Adam Thielen being on the Vikings and not on the Panthers will raise the ceiling by the end of the season for the Carolina Panthers, and they should improve more rapidly because the young guys are going to get all the reps. They have no choice but to get on the same page because they're going to be out there, they're going to be playing. There is no, all right, Jalen Coker's a little off today, let's put in Adam Thielen. It's, all right, Jalen Coker's a little off today, Bryce, figure it the heck out. There's no safety net anymore, which I kind of like for the development of this young team. As we move on to the...
Real quick.
Yep.
The trade compensation for Micah Parsons from Dallas to Green Bay. By the way, if you missed it, Dallas is trading Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers this season.
Where they make him the highest paid defensive player by about $6 million a year.
Yeah, $47 million a year. Terms of the trade. Dallas Cowboys receive 2 first-round picks
okay,
and defensive tackle Kenny Clark.
That's it?
That's it. Oh, wait, that's all it took?
Well, that and
I don't care.
$47 million a year.
That's fine.
I don't know.
That's fine.
I'm hung up on how much money that is. This isn't basketball. It's not where you get your legend and then you go win a title. It's the ultimate team sport, particularly on defense. And I'm wondering how hamstrung the Packers are going to be when they try to build a winner, particularly if Jordan Love continues to be what they hope he will be.
He's already paid.
He's paid $55 million. But I'm talking, he's a part of their core now. Micah Parsons signed a 4-year extension, which I believe builds off of his 5th-year option this year.
Yeah.
So he will be under contract for the next 5 years with the Green Bay Packers. Gosh, that's a lot of money, man.
That's awesome.
That's not much compensation, I'll give you that. 2 firsts and Kenny Clark, I'll do that every day and twice on Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if there weren't other teams willing to give significantly more, but they weren't willing to get near the price for Micah, so they're obviously not going to trade for him without an agreed upon extension. I forget what number we're on. 4, let's get to number 3.
Now I ain't saying she a gold digger.
You know what? Maybe Micah Parsons will buy some jewelry from Jordan Hudson and Bill Belichick. The reports are out there that Jordan Hudson, Bill Belichick's girlfriend, and a business that is associated with her, TCE Enterprise, I believe is what it's called, have filed for trademarks on jewelry and trinkets. The trademark will apply to on jewelry and trinkets the word gold digger. 2 words. Gold digger. Hilarious move. It's the same company that's filed in the past for trademarks to things like Chapel Bill, the Belichick Way, Dynasty (parentheses) Bill's version, and a few others. Gold digger. Interesting.
I actually had someone come up to me about a few minutes ago here at our tent here at just outside of the Carter Finley Stadium in the Lenovo Center, saying he's wearing NC State stuff. He goes, "Man, I'm tired of Belichick already." So he's already tired of Belichick, and you know what? I get it. That makes sense, people. It's fine.
I'm going to say the same thing I said to a listener the other day. Big hockey fan, big Canes fan. Love our Canes fans. We're sitting right outside the Lenovo Center. We're here more often on this plaza for Canes games than we are for NC State games. I love our Canes fans. But yesterday they were complaining about how we talk about the Panthers so much right now. And I went, the games start next week. If you're worried about us talking about the Panthers a lot, you better buckle up. The Canes, we love talking about the Canes, and we will. There's not a lot of action going on right now.
Their first preseason game is September 22nd.
And I don't watch enough 18-year-old Russian hockey to know how excited to get about, prospects coming up in a prospect showcase or whatever. And we'll know about those guys eventually, and we'll bring on the experts that do. But right now, we're on the eve of football season. Yeah. So if you're tired of talking about football, just buckle up, get through it. We'll give you your hockey fix when it's necessary. And if you're a college football fan and you're tired of talking about Bill Belichick, just know they're the Monday Night Football game with no other game on. It's going to be nationally televised. Yowzers.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot more Belichick. You're going to have to, grin and bear. So just steel yourself over a little bit. Get ready. That's number 3. Let's get to number 2.
Just the 2 of us.
All-out blitz. That's off his back foot. Floats to a wide open Bauman. He beats the blitz for a touchdown.
Duke football versus Elon tonight. Cross the triangle over there in Durham.
That's another in-state matchup.
It's another in-state matchup. It's another game that could have some impact on the ACC. Could have impact on the ACC race. Earlier today, we did do cons and cons for NC State along with Cory Smith from Pack Pride. We didn't get to cons and cons for Duke, so I figure we'll do that right now. What are you most confident in? What are you most concerned about for the Duke Blue Devils? I'll lead off. Concerned a bit with their running game.
Okay.
If there's one confusing part of their offseason, right? Because they moved on from Malik Murphy, a little confusing. They bring in Darian Mensah. Now it makes sense. They bring in Cooper Barkate. Makes sense. If there was one confusing part, the fact that Star Thomas left Duke to go to Tennessee is a little confusing one because you would guess that Duke isn't getting outbid when they gave their quarterback $4 million. You'd think they would be able to scrounge together the pennies and dimes they need to keep a running back like Star Thomas.
You'd think.
So that's really the only in or out. They brought in some very impressive freshmen, built off of what they did last year. But Star Thomas's exit was a little confusing to me. Hit the portal, went to Tennessee. They still have Jaquez Moore, explosive player from last year. Peyton Jones, maybe trying to fill that Star Thomas role. Anderson Castle's been listed on their depth chart as a player that could contribute. But I'm just a little concerned with their running game, and particularly the running backs. What are you concerned about for Duke?
My concern is how quickly does the offense gel? With so many new pieces, new quarterback, how quickly does it gel? The offensive line has got a lot of stability and guys coming back, but how quickly do the skill guys really gel? I think tonight against Elon, the fact that they do have an FCS opponent is going to obviously help aid in that, but it's not going to happen instantly, nor should we expect instant success in terms of the first 2 or 3 games of the year offensively.
That leads a bit into my next one. Confidence. What are you most confident in when it comes to Duke football as they head into their opener as well, across the triangle from where we sit here outside Carter Finley against Elon? Pro culture is what I'm calling it. It feels like they have embraced professional ideas, NFL ideas in the college world. You bring up the chemistry of the offense, particularly Darian Mensah and the wide receivers. They got a couple transfers, one from Harvard, one from Oklahoma, kind of growing into their roles on the offense. In the NFL, free agency, the draft, right, they're adding new players. Players are in and out all the time. So what has become a staple of off seasons in the NFL? The quarterback and the wide receivers go on a retreat somewhere. They build chemistry. They do a workout in the morning. They find a field, local high school field, throw in the afternoons, and then they do something fun at night. And right, we saw the Carolina Panthers do it in Minnesota this offseason. Well, Duke did that. They went to Tampa with their wide receivers and quarterbacks and playmakers and had their retreat. Manny Diaz, very much like, you want a good quarterback, you got to go spend on it, right? We're talking about how much things cost in the NFL. They went and spent, according to On3, more than anybody else on their quarterback this year for Darian Mensah. So I'm looking around going, all right, if there's going to be NFL-style free agency, if there's going to be NFL-style negotiations and payments, there's going to be NFL-style football coming to college. Seems like Duke's looked around and goes, all right, well, what does the NFL do to combat some of the challenges that those things bring up? Let's just do that.
Yeah.
And so I think they're embracing, it's, no different than the teams that embraced one and done in the NCAA basketball scene first benefited from it, right? The teams that resisted it longer struggled with it. So Duke seems to be embracing the pro culture a little bit earlier.
What's your confidence in Duke?
That's my confidence. It's their pro culture.
Yeah.
It's their embracing of everything new.
Okay, my confidence is their defense. The defense, and Manny Diaz, whether he's been a coordinator or a head coach, has always had good defenses, and they got some studs back there, especially in their secondary. That's always going to keep them in games. So if the offense is struggling a little bit, especially early on in the year, maybe week 2 against Illinois, the defense I think is going to keep them in games where, hey, the offense just might have to grind out a drive here or there in order to eke out a win. Defense is going to keep them in games throughout the season.
I like their defense. There's one or two guys that need to step up. Maybe an incoming freshman, and they have some big one. Gompers, they have some good ones. There's one or two guys that need to step up, but that means there are one or two players stepping up away from being a really good defense. Let's go ahead and head to number 1.
Go one! 2 running back set. Bailey keeps. Bailey dives to the end zone. Touchdown! NC State! And now the fireworks go off on time.
By the way, today's starting 5 is brought to you by Ritchie Law Firm, Injury Lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to Ritchie Law, RICCI, law.com. So here's the deal, everybody. Because we're on location, we don't have the numbers game today. I know it's a bummer. I know many of you look forward to it. We'll be back with the numbers game tomorrow when we're in studio. So you will have your chance. Don't worry.
At the Alpaca Chicken.
You will have, absolutely, your $30 gift card to Alpaca Chicken will be the prize tomorrow. But because of that, this upcoming segment we can use for number 1, which is going to be the game being played to our left here at Carter Finley Stadium. State versus ECU. More breakdown coming up next here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. Don't go anywhere.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are
unsportsmanlike.
Jackson Dart is ready for prime time. Jackson Dart gives the Giants the best chance to win games. Jackson Dart gives Brian Daboll and Joe Shane the best chance to say their damn job. I am on board with Mike Tannenbaum, everything that he says. So Jackson Dart needs to be the quarterback moving forward. QB1, week 1.
Unsportsmanlike. Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
And we're back talking all things connectivity with Spectrum customers Kev and Melissa. So tell us, how long have you been with Spectrum and how important is a reliable internet connection?
We've been Spectrum customers since we moved 12 years ago. The first thing we did is sign up for Spectrum Internet.
You get a lease, you get Wi-Fi.
Yes,
immediately.
We need that. We had Spectrum Wi-Fi before our couch got here.
That's true. That's a true story.
I'll sleep on the floor, but I won't go to bed with no internet.
You heard it here. Switch to Spectrum now.
It's not Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's Tuesday. Tuesday! The very first Tuesday.
New scratch-off tickets are available on the first Tuesday of every month.
Announcer said first Tuesday.
Brand new scratch-offs, brand new fun. Now from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Every first Tuesday. Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline, 877-718-5543.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions. Like your really expensive limited edition sneakers and your new suit for your cousin's wedding. Except you never actually bought the suit because you can't stop buying sneakers. So you show up to the wedding looking like you're going grocery shopping. But hey, at least your sneakers will look good in the pictures. Until you're cropped out of every last one of them. So go ahead and get Progressive, so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Your fantasy draft is here. The Smack Talk is starting, and this season, ESPN Bet is giving you more ways to ride with your squad. Introducing ESPN Bet Fan Center, where you can instantly link and bet on your fantasy teams right in the ESPN Bet app. An enhanced sports betting experience only from ESPN Bet, the sports book for sports fans. Download the app today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We are live outside of Carter Finley Stadium, and we'll be going inside the Carter Finley Stadium to watch the opener for the NC State Wolfpack as they host the ECU Pirates later tonight.
There are people lining up at the gate ready to go in right now.
Our broadcast is live, presented by Dogwood State Bank. Stronger communities, stronger futures. Dogwood State Bank, proud sponsor of the pack, member FDIC. We're going to talk State-ECU in a second here, but I do just want to bring something up.
Okay.
Micah Parsons was traded to the Green Bay Packers.
Yep.
According to NFL Network reporting. They're who I saw first. He is also getting a $47 million per year contract.
Whew.
According to Spotrac, the cap projection for 2026 is about $280 million.
Okay.
Now, I don't know what the cap hits are for Micah Parsons and Jordan Love, but I know what their average annual value is. Jordan Love's making $55 million.
Mm-hmm.
The average annual value for Micah Parsons will be $47 million. Two players will be making $102 million in a season where the entire team can only be paid $280 if the cap were that simple. I know it's not, and I know they can manipulate those numbers, but that's a lot of gosh darn money for the Green Bay Packers.
Jordan Love cap hit next year, $36.1 million.
Does he have one in a couple years for like 70 or 80 or something crazy like
in
that?
2028, it's $75 million.
Man, I just don't. I don't pretend to know the cap. Maybe they can make it work. It just seems like that money's going to come around to bite them at some point.
Salary caps are play money.
Yeah, that's what the Eagles would tell you. Green Bay Packers, by the way, all in. Now, let's jump into State versus ECU.
That's why we're here, baby.
You're darn right. And as much as the NFL offseason trades are fun, they aren't college football on game day.
Duh.
We are here outside Carter Finley. The tailgates are cranking. The fans are rocking. The band already went by. The mascots are walking around. The energy is high. And there's only two ways it's going to go. Either opening kicks, 7 o'clock, vibes are going to start high and go higher as State makes an opening statement that gets everybody riled up, or vibes are going to go high and you're going to hear all the murmuring, the rumblings are going to start if ECU lands the first couple of punches. And we've seen, by the way, in this rivalry, it go both ways. We've seen ECU pull off plenty of upsets, so much so that ECU fans are probably saying it's not an upset anymore. We've also seen 50-point wins for NC State. So there's been both sides of it. These two teams don't like each other. The stat that I like the most coming into this is if you look at the last 8 games these teams have played, it's 4-4.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the last 10 games they've played, it's 5-5. If you look at the last 12 games they've played, it's 6-6. If you look at the last 14 games they've played, it's 7-7. You go all the way back to over the last 20 games, ECU leads 11-9.
Yep.
If you go back to the last 22 games, it's tied 11-11.
Yeah.
Like there's and by the way, NC State takes the lead for a couple. They lead the entire series. I believe it's 19-14. So there's ebbs and flows in each direction. But for the most part, if you look back over the last 10 years, 20, 30, 40, really going back to the early 90s and into the 80s, they've pretty much played each other 500 ball. So going into a game like this, it does, for all of the reasons that make sense, power conference, higher NIL budget, bigger stadium, whatever you want to judge, seem like a real State should win by a bunch. But there's been a bunch of games that have felt like State should win by a bunch that ECU has been able to pull out, and that's why all those stats I just mentioned are true.
And since Dave Doeren arrived at NC State back in 2013, 3-3. This matchup is 3-3, and let's not forget, back in 2022 out in Greenville, ECU was a missed kick at the end of the game away from upsetting, I think at the end of the time, it was number 13th ranked NC State. So that's how close this rivalry has been, like you said, going back a few decades, but also just under the Dave Doeren era here at NC State.
It's
which you wouldn't expect from power conference school versus group of 5 school.
It's
group of 6.
It's a really interesting rivalry. It is. It's a really interesting rivalry. As we talked about earlier in the lead-up process, I think it's the programs are a lot more similar than they are different, just at different levels, right? One in the power conference, one in the group of 5, or a non-power conference, whatever you want to call it. Partially because, I think they have chips on their shoulder that they don't necessarily want removed. Like they feel disrespected. They feel like they don't get the respect they deserve. If you're NC State, you're thinking, we don't get the love we deserve in the ACC. Oh, why do all these other teams? Why every time there's a realignment is UNC conversation more? SEC wants them. Like you feel angry there. If you're ECU, you're going like Tulane, Army, these schools in your conference. They're always everybody's surprise pick. And meanwhile, you look at the history, ECU has some really surprising seasons where they were really good and they crank out NFL players. Some all-time greats have come through ECU. So it's I think there's more similarities there, and I think that's why the rivalry is so fierce, because it's a bit like arguing with a version of yourself.
And there are our good friend Graham Hill, who used to work here at 99 The Fan, swung by.
By the way, his final score prediction was 28-26 NC State. ECU misses a tying 2-point conversion at the end.
Yes, so that was his prediction. Like, that's a real bold prediction is what that is. But there's a lot of ECU fans that are here. I know Paul Ihander, our program director, who also hosts Next Up from 9 to 10 in the morning here on The Fan, talked about this, but he walks through his neighborhood and he sees ECU flags hanging up on people's houses. I see that. I go through the neighborhood where I live. I'll see a State flag, Carolina flag. I've seen UVA, Clemson, ECU. There's such a melting pot, and I think because of the proximity of the two schools, it's that there are people that went to school at ECU that are from the Triangle area, or maybe moved here after graduating from college. So there's such an influx of, or a crossover between ECU and NC State fans because of proximity that, you're going to get a ton of ECU fans out here today. I bet there's a bunch of people that grew up in the Triangle and maybe in Raleigh as an NC State fan, but went to school at East Carolina. So there's a little bit of that crossover as well. There's plenty of that too. I think that's what makes this this and really just college sports in the state of North Carolina is so special.
I talked with Mike Glennon earlier this week, former NC State quarterback, my co-host of the Pack Therapy podcast. Check it out everywhere podcasts can be found, YouTube included. But he just casually in our conversation goes, I think State and ECU have the two best fan bases in the state. And that was him talking, but coming from someone, I get that, right? I see you're like, if we weren't playing against each other, they're kind of our type of people, like that sort of thing going on, which is an exciting. And actually, we can speak on it today. You're seeing a lot of purple. I wouldn't obviously way more red, but you're seeing enough purple to notice.
Oh yeah,
which I recall sitting in this very spot here outside Carter Finley, but also outside the Lenovo Center for the Canes Devils postseason series.
Yeah.
And you couldn't really tell, right? Everyone was red and black. And if you're just looking at a group, you'd be like, there might be Devils fans in there, but I'm gonna pretend they're all Canes fans. Here, the purple stands out, and you see enough of it, right? They're not far away, is what I'm getting at there. From a football standpoint, I think the number one thing I want to see I'll give one on offense, one on defense for NC State. Defense, sound. No missed assignments. You're changing scheme. You're moving in a ton of new players. NC State did put out their official depth chart, but they put it out at 2:05 today, this afternoon, for the first time. And they had position battles that may have gone down to 155, right? The coaches may have been debating it all the way up till, they got on the bus to come over here. It may have been that close. So their defense is dealing with a lot of change. In addition to changing from the 3-3-5 that defensive coordinator Tony Gibson, now the head coach at Marshall, ran for years at State, to what DJ Elliott now wants to run, which kind of is in the Vic Fangio, for those of you that track NFL defenses, in his coaching tree. So I want to see the defense just be on their P's and Q's, right? They should be bigger, taller, faster, stronger. And if you play assignment sound football, you should have a pretty good defense. Offensively, I want to see explosives, right? I think the best thing you can say about their best weapons is, quick twitch, right? The best thing you can say is they are explosive. Hollywood Smothers, a lot of hype around him. I don't think he's a guy that needs 25 carries to be effective.
No.
You can give him 16 touches, and 2 of them might do most of the damage.
Mm-hmm.
Noah Rogers, guy that can track the deep ball, has some speed, all the talent in the world, former 5-star recruit. And Justin Jolie at the tight end is somebody who, on the scale of Gronk to Kelsey, meaning lumbering, great blocker, can also stretch the seam, Gronk, versus Kelsey, who's he's a wide receiver that just gets to call himself a tight end.
Oversized wideout.
I think Justin Jolie is more on the Kelsey side of that, right?
Yeah.
He's more out there to make a play. Or maybe even closer to a bigger version, but the Brock Bowers archetype. Not saying quality, not saying he's that good. Those guys are the 2 all-time greats and maybe the best pass-catching tight end right now. But that Jolie leans towards more of the guys trying to make plays catching the ball. So when you have all those playmakers, CJ Bailey's got to orchestrate them in a way that leads to explosives. I want to see some big plays. I want to see some highlights from the offense. Even if that also means an occasional 3-and-out because you're chasing big plays, I'm kind of okay with that.
Do you think early in this game, I'm going to ask you one question here. Do you think early in this game, in order to try and get the spark going right away, or a tone setter, like we see in the first drive, either of these offenses flea flicker, something crazy, some sort of trick play just to try, hey, we're going to open things up, like ECU tries to pull it off on the second play of the game in order to be like, hey, we ain't afraid of this today.
Looks like we lost connection with the guys again out there at Carter Finley. Everybody pouring in crowds for the season opener between NC State and ECU. We'll take another break here as we try to get them reconnected. When we come back, we'll wrap things up as we head to coverage of NC State and ECU over there at Carter Finley. Stay with us.
Move your sports day forward.
Currently built around unicorns like Shohei and studs like Aaron Judge, baseball getting a late-season jolt with Seattle catcher Cal Raleigh. The Carolina native now being talked about in the same breath as Mickey Mantle for a 50-home run season. It also helps his nickname's the Big Dumper. It also helps he looks like the ringer you'd play with in beer league.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
It's bow time. Something new just dropped at Bojangles. Take the bold taste of a crispy golden chicken supreme that's been seasoned to perfection, then add dill pickles, Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, and a toasted bun that's great on the go. What do you get? You get a Bo's Bird Dog. In fact, you can grab 2 of them for $5. So when you're on the go, headed to practice, or need a snack, grab a Bo's Bird Dog. Hurry in before they're gone. Available for a limited time. It's Bo time.
There's no time like Bo time, but sometimes it's go time. No time to stop, but the perfect time for a Bojangles Bird Dog. A seasoned to perfection Bojangles Chicken Supremes, dill pickles, and Carolina Gold barbecue sauce, all tucked inside a toasted bun. Great on the go. Try 2 bird dogs for just $5 or 2 bird dog combo for just $8.25. Available for limited time only. When you're hungry.
One 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. Must be physically located in North Carolina. T&Cs apply.
Struggling with high interest debt? You can pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Get cash out now without touching your low rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Loan Pronto, instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is A+ rated by the BBB and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Their service is off the charts. Call now to start the conversation. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760. Get debt relief now. Loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender. NMLS 166171 on approved credit. NMLSconsumeraccess.org. Hey, folks. Dennis Cox here for you live for my friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. If you're struggling with your weight, it's something that I've struggled with, and maybe you bounce from one fad diet to the next, you need to listen to this. I started the program at Raleigh Weight Loss Center just over 4 weeks ago. Right around 4 weeks ago is when I started the program. I stepped on the scale this morning, 28 pounds down, thanks to Raleigh Weight Loss Center. And here's the thing about Raleigh Weight Loss Center, that if you have a little bit of hesitation about weight loss programs or those things, the Raleigh Weight Loss Center program doesn't involve any injections, so there's no shots, no side effects. You know, we're not doing steroids or HGH or those kinds of things. It is your body restarting its metabolism and resetting its metabolism, so you are naturally burning off the weight that you need to lose. But also their goal at Raleigh Weight Loss Center is not just to reach the goal weight, it's about maintaining that weight as well. So many of these diets, these yo-yo diets as they call it, where you lose a bunch of weight but then you put it back on, that's not what Raleigh Weight Loss Center is there to do. They want you to lose the weight that you want to lose, but also keep that weight off and maintain it. That's why you got to give them a call at 919-897-7506. And by the way, you have till tomorrow. You have today and tomorrow. They have up to 20% off right now, up to 20% off. So it's their best rates of the year at Raleigh Weight Loss Center, and they're a fantastic program. So if you're thinking about it, it's a free consultation. Give them a call, 919-897-7506, or go online, RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Free consultation, 919-897-7506, or RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Results may vary.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Today's broadcast has been outside of Carter Finley Stadium. You can smell the college football. You can take in the energy, and we've been able to do this thanks to Dogwood State Bank. Stronger communities, stronger futures. Dogwood State Bank, proud sponsor of the pack, member FDIC.
I smell a lot of tailgates.
Yeah.
I smell a lot of tailgates going on right now. This place is filled up. It is absolutely awesome. The atmosphere of college football games is simply the best.
I'm very much looking forward to this evening's contest between NC State and ECU. But before we go into making our picks and get into the nitty-gritty of it all, I do want to update you on the breaking NFL news of the afternoon. Less than an hour ago, news broke that the Dallas Cowboys traded Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers.
I hit that dump button there, Max, real fast.
What happened?
Oh, he just dropped an F-bomb, the guy walking behind us.
Okay. I think there's some Cowboys fans doing that across the country right now.
I know.
Mike Parsons traded the Green Bay Packers. In return, the Cowboys received 2 first-round picks, a 2026 and a 2027 first-round pick, and former Pro Bowler Kenny Clark. Don't let the Cowboys fool you. In their official announcement, they called him Pro Bowler Kenny Clark. He was not a Pro Bowler this past year. It was in previous years.
Yeah, well, it counts.
I know, but it's important to note that Kenny Clark's been good for quite some time, and Micah Parsons has been good and will be for quite some time.
Yeah.
There's 2 differences there. The compensation kind of did it. I was ready to defend Jerry. I was ready because the first bit of news we got was that Micah Parsons was traded, and he's getting $47 million per year, 136 guaranteed, 188 total over 4 years from Green Bay. And I went, if they got him like a Herschel Walker-sized haul and that cap savings, we might owe Jerry an apology. Then I saw what they got back, and I went, oh, never mind. Jerry's being Jerry.
Yep.
And not only that, they're playing the Eagles in a week, and now they don't have their best defensive player.
Nope.
So, Jerry Jones, he's going to Jerry Jones. And the worst part is he's on a yacht somewhere celebrating, and he doesn't have anyone in his face going, dude, that's not good. He just has people around him, cheers and glasses to getting rid of Micah Parsons. Think about that.
And those are late first-round picks, too, most likely.
Crazier things can happen, but
True.
Most likely. With that being said, let's get to the main course here.
Yes.
College football week 1 starts tonight. Starts very soon, actually. Almost down to an hour. Dennis, what are we picking here to round out the show?
So I want your first touchdown prediction.
First touchdown for this game. I'm going to stick with a guy I've been hyping up all offseason. I know Hollywood Smothers is getting the hype right now, and he should. Matter of fact, on certain sports books, Hollywood Smothers as an anytime touchdown scorer is minus 600. At least it was this afternoon, which is absolutely insane probability that we're getting some giveaways here. Absolutely insane odds that he's going to go ahead and score a touchdown. But I'm sticking with my guy. The guy I've been hyping up as the mover and the shaker of the defense all year, all offseason, Justin Jolie. And I'm going with a very similar prediction to what I used in preseason of the NFL. They get down, meaning NC State, gets down to I'll say the 5-yard line or closer. Play action, C.J. Bailey on the roll, little dump off to Justin Jolie, who basically just beats his man horizontally on a fake block arrow route, something like that. Touchdown pass, gets C.J. Bailey hype with the touchdown pass, gets Justin Jolie up there. Statistically, gets everybody starting off right.
All right, prediction as well. Total touchdowns by C.J. Bailey today.
Passing and rushing?
Total touchdowns. I'll even throw returns. Why not?
Well, he gets at least 2 interception returns for a touchdown.
Oh, yeah.
As a safety, of course. I'll go 3. 2 passing, 1 rushing.
I think we haven't talked enough about his running ability yet.
And
he can make plays with his legs.
He has. Occasionally last year he went down on what I considered soft contact, but he has put on supposedly 20 pounds this offseason.
Yeah.
And he hasn't played enough football in the season, right? That'll go down as the season goes along, right? It just does. You run it off. So if he's out there, 18 pounds heavier than he was last year, he might have a little bit more break tackle ability. Mobile guy had 3 touchdowns rushing in a game last year. Also had 3 interceptions in that game. I believe it was Georgia Tech. But no, I think he throws for 2, runs for 1. Team also piles on a couple rushing touchdowns. Hollywood Smothers probably amongst them.
All right, Caden Hauser, ECU quarterback. Over under 199.5 yards passing for Hauser.
Over. I also think this is going to be game flow, right?
Yeah.
As you'll see from my final score prediction a little bit, I think State's going to get the win. I think they'll be ahead. And ECU is going to be there's no reason for them to play for a close loss, right? They're chasing wins. So if they find themselves down 7, if they're down 10 in the second half, they're going to let it fly. So Katin Hauser will throw for yards. It's an issue. The question is, will their drives end in ill-advised passes or touchdown passes? And I think, both can be a factor.
Okay, over under 1.5 total touchdowns for Hauser.
That's a good number. I'll go over. I think it's 2.
Okay.
I don't know if they are, those ones that don't mean as much when you're down a little bit and you get a late one. But I think they're going to air it out, right? And I also think Anthony Smith, who is a former NC State Wolfpack player, he's going to want to get he's going to have a good game. He's going to want to have a good game. So I think they'll, especially if it gets out of hand, they'll try to at least take care of him with maybe a touchdown.
All right, another over-under for you. I'm going to go back to NC State, Hollywood Smothers. Over-under 119.5 total yards. So pass over receiving and rushing, 119.5, over-under. I feel like it's a good number.
It is. I think a lot of that has to do with game flow.
Yeah. Because, again, if NC State gets up early, he gets pulled in the third quarter.
If it's close, I think his touches will be high. And I think 119 is definitely in play.
Or he busts an 80-yarder.
I think he'll have a 40-plus. 80 is tough to predict, but I think he'll have play. I'll take the under. 119 is a lot. I'll take the under.
Okay.
But I'm a big Hollywood Smothers fan. I think he'll have a big game.
Okay, over under 4.5 receptions for Noah Rogers.
I'll take the under on that as well. I think Noah Rogers' role, I think he's a very good player. I think his role is he's a guy that with 3 catches on 6 targets can change a game, right? He's a big play guy. But if you look at what NC State has, I think they want to see what they have in Anderson, the second-year player on the team. I think they want to make sure Jolie gets his. Wesley Grimes is an interesting player, made a few contested catches last year that I was excited by. I think they want to get Hollywood Smothers some touches. I think they want to get Jaden Scott some touches. So I don't think anybody outside of maybe Jolie is going to be force-fed the ball in the passing game. So I wouldn't be surprised if Rogers has 3 or 4 catches, but at least one of them meaningful, right? At least one of them we remember.
All right. Score prediction. Give it to me.
Score prediction, I'm going 34-21.
Okay.
State. And I think there's a late touchdown for ECU, right? So it's 34, maybe 14. ECU scores a late one. They're 31-14, and then ECU gets a late touchdown, and then State tacks on a field goal or something with the second unit. I'm going 34-21. State, the defense for State has a few speed wobbles, a lot of new, and ECU likes to test you downfield. Dennis, what's your score prediction?
31-17.
31-17.
I think it's going to be a 24-10 game early on in the fourth quarter. 24-10 early fourth quarter. CJ Bailey and the offense, they get one more early, first 3 minutes of the fourth quarter touchdown, makes it 31-10. Then they can start putting the backups and stuff in. I think ECU gets a late touchdown with a couple minutes left to actually probably cover the spread, which I think is 14.5 right now. Backdoor cover.
Moved up a little bit.
I think it's 14.5. Little backdoor cover.
I think in both of our scenarios, if we're right, State fans leave happy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say giddy. I would say they leave pleased.
I would say if State fans are, if State is up 21 points early in the fourth quarter, I think State fans would be happy.
I'd say if they're up 21 points, barring a collapse at darn near any point in the game, they should be. By the way, ECU, they're a nice little program, did some good things in the transfer portal, not a pushover at all. Don't treat them as if they are some scrub FCS opponent.
ECU broadcast comes up right after this, by the way.
They do, and if you want the NC State broadcast, it'll be on our sister station, 99.9 The Fan. And if you want to check out Duke's game against Elon, it'll be on Buzz Sports Radio, another station under our umbrella of networks.
State's on Mix 101.5.
What did I say?
99.9.
We're on 99.9 The Fan. All right, we got to get rolling, everybody. We're going to head inside and watch some football. It's college football, everybody. Thank you to Max Gorin back at the studio, keeping us up and running. Thank you to Dogwood State Bank for allowing us to be out here. For Dennis and myself, Tim Donnelly, here on 99.9 The Fan. Enjoy the games, everybody.
ECU Pirates football tonight.
Rajay Harris at the 20, 25, 30 down the left side, 40. He makes a man miss at the 50. Off to the races, 40, 30. A chase is on. 10, 5, touchdown.
You gotta be serious. You gotta be kidding me.
On a handoff.
ECU takes on NC State. Pregame starts at 6, kickoff at 7 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle's home for college football.
On the Wolfpack Sports Network from Learfield, this is Wolfpack Sports Today, your daily look inside NC State athletics. And now, here's Wolfpack Sports Today.
I'm Matt Chasnow. Kickoffs tomorrow. Pac football's almost back. Wolfpack Sports Today is next.
The top-rated public golf course in Raleigh